Me and the Lord, we got an understanding.
We're on a mission from God.
They say I need some Rogaine to put in my hair. Work it out at the gym to fit my underwear. Oakley makes the shades to transform a tool. You'd hate for the kids to think that you lost your cool. I'ma do the things that I wanna do. I ain't got a thing to prove to you. I'll eat my candy with a fork and beans. Excuse my manners if I make a scene. I ain't gonna wear the clothes that you like. I'm fine and dandy with a mirror inside. One look in the mirror and I'll take a peek. I don't give a hoot about what you think. Everyone likes to dance to a happy song with a catchy chorus and beat, so they can.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Pork and Bean Show, starring two of the world's foremost ascended disasters, Pork Cunningham and the world's handsomest man, Frank Bean. Sit back, relax, and stay a while, and access the far recesses of your imagination, as far as the universe that you can imagine beyond. And let us introduce you to the world of the Sasquatch people and their message of love, their message of hope, and their message of connection.
You ready to go?
Wait a minute. I'm on the Pork and Bean Show. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on a second. I just want to send Greg a... I'll tell him to meet it in 15 minutes or something. Okay.
Make sure you spell his name and everything.
Oh, I did.
And
Uh,
put his book in title and
his book. He's got a book?
oh, well, I was thinking somebody else. I was thinking about Carter. Greg Yost. Yost.
Yoster. The Yoster.
The Sasquatch man.
No, he cut the sass off.
Squatch man?
Squatch man.
Squatch man.
That's the man.
Okay, see if you can't start it on Facebook Dead or Alive.
No, I am. I just sent him the link, so then he can just come on. So then I don't have to interrupt you, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to start it now.
I thought we were supposed to talk.
We are
Pre-show.
It is. I'm going to do that right now, but I just got to. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Where's the? Oh.
I don't care if your mom ain't crazy. I love me a little pork and beans.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I shaved the other day, and I thought it would last longer.
Hold on a second.
Stuff grows right back. You know, it's like grass. You got to like mow the grass all the time.
Hey, don't be saying funny stuff when we're not on the live. Save the funny stuff for live.
What are you talking about? You're talking cuckoo talk.
That's what I do. Okay.
I don't see it. I don't see it. See, I'm sorry. What I'm sorry about, I'm sorry that you don't have, oh, we're now streaming live on Facebook.
We are. We are.
How did
Welcome,
that
everybody.
happen?
We're doing a
Just the
little
magic-
pre-game show for
The
before our
magic of
guest
the
comes on.
internet.
What's that?
The magic of the internet.
You got it.
Hi, Beaners. Say hello to your fans and friends. Do you have any friends? You got rid of all your friends. Now you got to go make them again.
Well, I do that once in a while, you know.
I guess what? You got a YouTube channel too.
I do, yeah. Hey, you guys. I was thinking of something that we all know that the only way, the real way to fight this world these days and the nonsense is to raise our vibration and to not buy into fear, whatever. But once in a while, taking some constructive steps and whatever, and fighting back or voicing things is good too. And so I was thinking, are you guys getting that vaccine passport nonsense down there proposed, where you'll have to prove that you're double vaccinated to go into a theater or a sports game or cross the border or do all that kind of stuff?
But I'm not yet. But oh, look, did you say pork and beans, Greg Yost?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Why don't you?
You don't have that yet?
Why don't you put something like interview or something like that? You're just a.
Hey, this is live. This is live.
You're a minimal. You're a minimalist.
As good as it's going to get now.
You're a minimalist.
Yeah, it's done. I'm a minimalist. The Pork and Bean Show, Greg Yost. I mean,
what else do you need?
What else do you need? I mean, what are you going to do? Just come up and stare at us? I mean, we're going to talk, right? I mean, we've done about 100.
Let's talk about this. First, the thing about the vaccine is we can't say vaccine on the internet.
Hold on a second. We've only done about 100 shows. I think people know that we talk. Yeah, you can't say COVID-19 on the internet.
Can't say that.
You can't say that.
And you can't say anything about burning down the government. So what I think we need to do is talk about the World of Warcraft, which is a video game. And in the World of Warcraft, you can burn down the government. In the World of Warcraft, you can shoot people and tar and feather them. So if you talk about the video game War of Worlds or whatever. I don't know. What are some of the other ones? You know, any other video games out there?
I haven't played video games in quite a few years. Do you?
No, I don't play them at all, but I know that they're real popular.
I think that Warcraft thing though that you mentioned was like about 30 years ago or something. I think.
Probably. But in
You
any
know,
way,
they're doing all kinds of
that'd be
crazy.
a really good way to get around the codes. You could get around the codes by talking about, you know,
Yeah.
shoot 'em up war games. We could replace it with tar and feather war games.
Oh, okay. We'll have to get some code words or something that everybody on the Pork and Bean show can understand, I suppose. But until we come up with them, we're just going to have to fly by the seat of our pants. So
Poor Cuban people are starving to death. And then the French people, they just decide that they're going to make your vaccination card and all this other kind of stuff. And there's French people out there rioting and stuff in the street. And then there's all kind of stuff is going on in South Africa. It's just went crazy down there too. And
well,
all over the world, people getting out in the street and marching. In America, we kind of sit on our thumbs.
well, you're better than we are. We're like really whipped around here. But this is what I was proposing. You know, I made that little post. It was kind of tongue in cheek because, you know, the Sasquatch, their core lesson is about not judging. So if I excluded vaccinated people from a gathering, that would be judging and whatever. So we don't want to fall into their game, which is, you know, what they're all about. But what I would suggest is, you know, if they do bring in these, and this is everybody, I mean, really think about it, people. If the government or whoever brings in these vaccine passports and all this stuff, you can't go to a theater, you can't go to the bar, you can't do this, you can't do that, then people should just set up their own little gatherings.
Medical tyranny.
Yeah, set up your own little gatherings and invite vaccinated and unvaccinated. I mean, the vaccinated people won't come anyway because they'll be scared out of their jockey shorts. But I mean,
this whole thing is cult mentality for brainwashing. You know what you got to do to make a cult? You got to have everybody wear some special clothing, like a mask. The Mormons wear magic underwear. You know, the awake people wear masks. You know.
Yeah.
So you have to wear some special clothing that identifies you as part of a cult, right?
Right.
And then there's another thing that you have to do if you're going to be in a cult, and that is any good cult will tell all its members, don't go back to your parents and talk to them about anything, and don't go out to your grandmother or anybody. So it's like a social distancing, you know what I mean? That's a cult behavior.
Social distancing.
Huh?
Ooh, that rings a bell.
Yeah, they say, oh, don't, you know, so when you hear about these cult people, they said, oh, the cult wouldn't let me go see my mom, and my grandmother was dying, and the cult wouldn't let me go see, you know, and then there some people wear these orange robes, or some cults have white clothes on, and, you know, and they have, or some of them have turbans on their head, or they have like a yarmulke, or, you know, but it's pretty much, and then it's like, oh, you can't mix with people who are not in the cult, right?
Right.
This is cult stuff, man. And it's like people just fall for it.
Right. Well, no, I mean, what I was suggesting is pretty simple. Like, you know, like you got a bunch of people who are like excluded from getting together with people in social settings, and just have your own little thing. Say, hey, we're going to have a little gathering here, and vaccinated and unvaccinated people are welcome. You know, just do your own things.
Should have a gathering with no rules, and then when everybody at the end of the night, when everybody's around the campfire, say, okay, let's have a group hug, or let's go around and hug everybody, so everybody gets a hug. Because when you hug somebody, man, that's like a soul connection. You know, this 5 foot, 6 foot distancing thing is like, you know, it makes your soul kind of cringe. But when you hug somebody, it's like, there's a living being there. There's somebody there. There's, you know, life is good, you know. And then
I'm just saying,
in nature.
Get creative, do your own things, and, you know, and make your own entertainment. Don't let the government have your entertainment. Who cares if you can't go to a sports game, you can't go to the bar? get
Randy
some
Bell
people
says,
together
"Hey
and have a
guys,
little beer garden in somewhere else, you know?
who Hizzle Swizzle? She's the most amazing woman. Who Hizzle Swizzle? She got these great memes. She's got a great attitude. Done a lot of work. She says hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's the name? Hizzle Swizzle?
Who Hizzle? Who Hizzle
Hizzle.
Swizzle?
Who Hizzle? Who is it?
That's her name. Who Hizzle Swizzle?
Who?
Swizzle.
Oh, who Hizzle Swizzle? Who's that?
That's the comment right below Randy Bell.
Ah, he rings a bell. Now that name is familiar. I'm just saying, man, you know, like just get people together and do your own thing or whatever then. I mean,
You already said that. Let's get together and do our own thing on the Pork and Bean Show. You know, it'd be nice if you had internet connection out there and then you could do a live feed from your show, from your gathering. That'd be fun.
well, yeah, unfortunately. Well, I do the videos and the interviews and stuff. I can't, there's
You know what
no,
I'm saying? If it was live, like if you had if you had some place where there was internet connection where you get a laptop and do it live, that'd be fun.
well, I mean, there is at the front entrance to the place. So there is actually a trail that I walk that does have internet. So maybe we could do something like that. That would be fun.
Anyway, I just thought that would be fun. But you do it like you take a video and then you post it the next day or the next week or something, right?
Yeah. No, I
That's
just
that's
think
pretty good.
I just think people should fight back, you know, and like fight back against the tyranny. And they say we can't do this, can't go here, don't do that. Then do our own stuff. Screw
Fight
'em.
to be human. The fight to be human. To be,
Right.
yeah.
You know, I mean, I do know that the
Well,
real
my
way-
saying is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But it is, right? But the opposite of that is the road to heaven is paved by evil with evil deeds. And the more you have these evil deeds, the more it's going to backfire on them.
Yes, that's the thing. You see, that's the thing. That's the reason why we should you know, I get ticked and I get, you know, like indignant and whatever, but really this darkness is really an essential thing because you know, it's gonna wake people up and eventually we're gonna come out of it. You know, it's gonna shake people up. I think it has to be really dark before it gets light. So it's a
I mean,
celebration.
it's going to be really dark if you start adding, if it gets to be around a million or 2 million people died of that thing, you know, that thing. If some people die from taking that thing and it gets to be millions, you know, or so you like right now, they say that this stuff's going to kick in a year or 2 years. So who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's a reliable doctor in Ontario here who is saying he's not even saying it's a possibility. He's saying it's almost an inevitability that one of the things that people are willingly taking is going to cause blood clots and all kinds of stuff.
Blood clots. There's
yeah,
4 different ways there's 4
and
different ways that creates blood clots.
yeah, and in certain ways that if he's saying that some things can regenerate, but if you get a blockage or something with your heart or your brain or something like that, it doesn't regenerate. It's permanent. So it's a horror story, but of course, you know, everything's all above board. Hey,
Well,
so what do you think? Beans?
supposedly the good ETs, the people from the star nations, are here working behind the scenes, and they have put people in place all around the world to you know,
Yeah.
make moves. You know,
Well,
because
the thing is,
ones we hear about, so that somebody says, "Oh, I'm a Sirius starseed," or "I'm an Andromeda starseed." Those are just like regular people, but the real ones that they put in there, you don't ever hear about because they're in some government job or something. They're not on the internet saying, "I'm a Palladian starseed." They're actually doing stuff, you know.
well, I mean, you know what? That the so-called bad people or the people on the opposite side of the fence of whatever you're on are actually doing really, really good work. Because if it wasn't for them being totally what they're up to, we wouldn't be waking up. You know, we'd just be cruising along and blind at the same thing. It's going to take a dramatic jolt, and they're actually doing us a big service. Anyway, we got Greg Yost is waiting, so I am Port Cunningham. I'm here with my honorable, distinguished co-host, Frank
Frank Oliver Bean.
Baines.
That's me, the world's
This is
handsomest
the
man.
Pork and Beans Show, and let's bring on our guest, Greg Yost.
Who Hizzle Swizzle says, I love you all, especially when you say who Hizzle Swizzle. So
Who is his? Who is that?
she's the queen of the internet. Who Hizzle Swizzle.
Who?
Who Hizzle? Hey Greg. What's going on, man?
It's the Yost.
The Yost with the most. Oh,
The
look at
Yost
that.
with the most.
He's got his cool man glasses on. All right.
All righty.
Can you hear us, Greg?
Uh-oh.
He's connecting to the audio.
No, not yet. We'll get him there, though.
Look at that cool camper rig he's got. What is that? Is that that looks like a bus or something?
Yeah. Well, we were talking the other day. Don't. Peace, brother.
That's a
Hey,
cool.
we can do
That's a
sign.
cool.
We should do a whole show in sign language.
Hey,
Hey, there you are.
hey, how's my brothers doing?
Good,
Doing
man.
all right, man.
We're not used to having a famous person on the show, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You've been blowing up the internet, man.
I know, dude. Yeah, I gotta look cool then if I'm famous.
You are. Hey, how long you had your?
Hey, dude. Hey, I'm just getting the truth out, my brothers.
How long?
Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing but the truth, man. And people are finally eating it up. They're finally getting somebody telling them the truth, man.
Hey,
And that's my calling, man.
that's what I've been doing, but nobody likes me, so nobody listens to what I'm saying. So that's good that you're doing it.
Hey, me and Tony like you, man.
You do? You like me?
Hey, we love you guys. I mean, Mike was one of my favorite people on Facebook. Yeah, I just like guys like me, with beards and long hair, man. I can relate to guys like that, people that don't live in the box. I mean, look at like 99 out of 100 men. They all look alike. They wear nice clothes. They got nice haircuts. They got no facial hair. They basically all look alike. I'm different. Look at me. A lot of people call me a wild man. I love it. I don't want to be like other people. I want to be like Greg Yost, and this is who I am.
Well, that's what
This is
Mr.
who
Beans
I
wants
am.
to be too. He wants to be like you, except he's never gonna reach those heights. But
Well, yeah, I'm 6'6", man. So yeah, I don't know how you can get people to grow, but drink a lot of milk, eat a lot of vegetables. You never know. The Jolly Green Giant.
I knew you were a big, tall guy. Well, I'm 6'4", and I've got a friend who's 6'6", and I'm not used to looking up to people, but that's really weird for me. But then we got Mr. Beans. What are you, like 5'2"?
I'm 6'0". 6'0". I'm a
So,
short.
hey, welcome to the club, man. You're over 6 feet. That's the main thing, right?
No. He's like 5'11".
Before you came on,
it.
Brian was talking about people got to do their own thing, man, instead of relying on the government. And I was thinking, man, that you get people come out and have like little retreats or little expeditions all the time, man. You got some of your best stories is when you invite half a dozen people to come out and walk around, check out the Squatch people. So you're ahead of the game, man. You're doing your own thing. And that's what's real. And people are out there seeing each other and laughing and joking and getting scared.
We're being ourselves, man. Like I tell the people, there's nothing to be afraid of. Go out and have fun, be yourself. The forest people like seeing people. They don't want a bunch of people out there trying to videotape them and get them on audio, get them on video. Get them, hey man, just be yourself, do your thing. They'll come to you. I mean, they have always come to me, ever since my first incident, and now it's just incredible of what I can manifest with them now. I mean, every night's an adventure when I go. And speaking of which, yeah, when I get done with the interview, I'm gonna head up, see my buddy Tony, man. He's out camping. He wants me to come up. So yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with the Maple Man here shortly when we get done. So yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a good day. I've been waiting for this interview all day. I talked to Pork the other day. Yeah, you guys are great guys, man. Yeah, I was on a marathon interview last night, man. It was like almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I didn't, I could have just talked all night, it was going so good, one of them kind of interviews.
2 hours and 30 minutes.
I love getting the truth out, man.
2 hours and 30 minutes. That's like just the intermission for our show. That's the first half. We've gone on for over 4 hours before.
Hey, well, I was on for a little bit, remember, with Tony that one time.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I don't think I ever been on by myself, though, have I?
No. Well, unfortunately, the recording or the internet was so bad that time that it wasn't even salvageable, so that's why we're having you back on.
That's not true. I salvaged it. I've got that whole interview running on my YouTube page. I just went in there and edited the sound quality, and it turned out pretty good.
Oh, you did, eh?
Hey, well, this one here.
I told you about
this one here sounds real good.
Yeah. Hey, what's that behind?
Well, I can hear both of y'all crystal clear.
You got a great image too. There's nothing blurry or anything.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting outside, natural sunlight. I love being in nature, out in the backyard. So yeah, I'm ready, man.
Yeah, we were. So do you host gatherings and stuff once in a while, I suppose, eh?
Well, what was that?
You host gatherings and things once in a while, or you just go and do your own thing?
Oh yeah, so I have people come out, man, for sit outs. We sit around the fire. I ask the forest people to do stuff. I talk to them. I raise my hands up, show them respect. Open palms, no games, no guns, no gadgets. Just a man in his heart, asking for things. Light your lights, your eyes up. Do some tree knocks for us, some vocals. If you really want to get big with us, they push a tree over. I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys, but these people have come up here to witness the phenomenon and the awesomeness and amazing things y'all do. And, and from the goodness of my heart, I ask you if you could do something for them. And you can talk to anybody who's been there. I do this, it's for real. And everybody leaves happy. I've not heard one person ever say anything bad about my forest or what happened. I have campouts along with nightly sit-ins every now and then. But the campouts are really fun. And like I said, I had one gentleman say, "This is the forest that never disappoints." I had another lady tell me when I had this forest shine with lights everywhere. She said, "I'll never forget this." She goes, "Greg, she goes, I can't believe it." She goes, "It looks like Christmas out there."
From all the eye shine, you talking about from all the eye shine out there?
Yes, eye shine just everywhere. And I ain't talking one or two. I'm talking double figures, easy.
Whoa!
And not just one color. I mean the whole spectrum. White, whitish blue, blue, green, red, pink, amber yellow. That's a very common one. A lot of them have the almond yellers. But yes, it was a complete light show. And sometimes they get so bright, it lights up their chest and their face area, and you can see them. They can get them really bright. They can turn them really dim. They can turn them off and on like flashlights. And again, there's nothing like quite seeing one that lights up his whole chest and face area with his eyes. It look like flashlights. Are so bright, and I see this a lot. My friends and my people that come here see it. So it's a specular to see something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you pick the people that come? Do the Sasquatch let you know energetically that this person is trustworthy, and welcome, or?
Well, yeah, that's a great question, and that's the thing. Like when I have Bigfoot camp outs, I invite anybody who wants to come, and it's usually not until they're up there that I know it was a major mistake for that certain person or people coming. They sit the whole thing I have built up with the trust and the good-hearted people. A lot of these people are coming up trying to slide out infrared cameras and trying to do stuff I tell them I don't want done up here. I don't want no gadgets. I don't want no guns. And I don't want no games. You come up here and you watch me, what I do. I tell you what to do. Enjoy, and you will have the best Bigfoot experience of your life. But a lot of people cannot adhere to that simple rule.
Yeah.
Again, this ain't. I'm not having these people coming here doing that. Trying to get the money shot, trying to get a video better than Patty. I've been working this force for a long time, and it's taken me a long time to get where I'm at with them. And I don't want some fool to blow it in one night, because I promised the people I would never do this to them. And I will keep my promise until the day I die. And that goes for anybody else. So usually when that happens, as per your question, I'll flat out tell them. I tell them to put their thing away. I tell them, I thought you understood. I didn't want this, and you ruined the whole night for all these people that have came. Because we're not going to get no action, because you whip that stuff out, they're gone, man. They're not going to be around. They do not want to have their picture taken, and people just don't understand this. And no matter what, they still try to do it. But anyway, I don't invite them back. I don't want them back. And not only,
With me, when I host my,
I just lost video.
oh, I wonder why. Let's see what's going on here. There you are.
Yeah, sorry, man. Somebody was calling in. No, but I won't. I won't call them in. Or ask them back. Only one sec.
What's going on here?
Patience. It'll all work out.
Not only do they try to get stuff like that, you can feel their bad energy, man. You can feel their bad intentions, and that that just ruins the whole thing of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting. It's pretty pretty stressful. When you see stuff like this going on, I weed out the people, and right now, I got a great group of people that come usually all the time. I got Bob Spencer and his daughter, 77-year-old man. Who's come to me, and he wants to physically see a forest person eye to eye like I have, and he thinks I'm the man that can do this for him. And I tell him I would do everything in my power for this to happen, because he's a very great man, and his daughter comes, very good-hearted lady. Um, Tony Maples, Bob Watson, Alan Pemberton, just a few of people that always come to my campouts. Like-minded people like me that I have known these people for years, and I know they're really good people, and they're not going to do no hanky-panky stuff. I mean, I had some people up here showing them very special things, like Turtle Rock, sculpture in the creek for me that looked like a turtle. I don't know if you ever seen pictures of it. It was a very special thing. And I showed about 5 or 6 people this, and it meant the world to me. I mean, it's like they cut these rocks with a laser. I mean, just the awesomest thing you ever seen. And then one day, walking the creek in my hot spot, Turtle Rock was gone. Somebody came back or stole it, or the forest people retook it. I don't know for sure, either or. But why would the forest people take it if they left it for me? I mean, usually the person that finds something like this, that's who they made. They're going to make sure you see it. So yeah, I'm 100% confident they made this for me. And turtles are a very meaningful animal to them. Something about turtles, just like the Native Americans, man, it's a very special reptile, and it has a lot of spiritual meanings apparently. And that's what I thought it was, a turtle at first, like a big snapping turtle, the way it was made. But no, it was made out of rocks, all different sizes, that looked like they were cut with a laser. And anyway, that was stolen. You gotta be careful who you bring to your, some people call it your research area, your hot spot, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really my research area because, like I always tell everybody, I'm not a researcher. I'm not here to research nothing. I know the forest people are out there. I know they're real, and I know I got a great relationship with them. And I'm not trying to prove their existence. I could care less about proving anything about them. That's not what I'm here for.
No.
I'm here for is to get the truth out about them. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as they would say in a law, because I have grown tired, and I have grown weary and angry of all the mud being slung out there for 50 years about these beings. And I just had enough.
Yeah,
So
the monsters
so if
starting to
people
get
want to
real
listen to
old.
the
They're
real
not
truth,
monsters, they're
they can
people.
listen to me. I mean, I'm not going to tell you they're an undiscovered bipedal ape, undiscovered by man or science. I would never buy into that from what I've seen and what I know now. Maybe at the beginning I might have bought into something like that, but ever since I started my journey on this, 20 years of doing this, I know the truth from what I have seen, what I have encountered, what I have experienced, and nothing adds up to being what a lot of people say they are, an ape or an ape man, a caveman, Neanderthal man. I mean, I have seen two of these people from 60 feet away staring at me, two males, an old red one and a big black one. And that pretty much told me that the ape theory was out the door. These things, they wasn't apes, they were people. The old red guy had a face like Geronimo. I seen a picture a few years after that, looked just like Geronimo. It had a big nose, kind of spread out, but nothing like, people draw pictures like a big ape nose. No, it was nothing like that. It was a human nose. human facial features, eyes. The eyes is beautiful eyes, loving eyes, man. I stared at him for 4 minutes. He looked very wise, very intelligent, probably 140 years old. He was very old. And I don't know if his son was with him, but his son was, I called him Mini Kong. I mean, he was built like no other. I've never seen nothing in my life built like this. I mean, it was amazing, man, what he looked like. I mean, you see the pictures of the, drawings, the big broad chest, the washboard stomach, the bowling ball shoulders, the arms like telephone poles. Yeah, so this young man had all that. Real thick hair, grayish black skin, like a blend, making his face kind of, like a lot of people report, kind of grayish looking, dark gray, blackish gray. But the other one's face was, like leather, like buckskin leather. And he had a lot of wrinkles in him. He had a lot of years on that face. But yet, I call him the elder, the forest elder. And as bad as I thought I was going to die that day, that was my second encounter. Everything turned out great. I walked off with my dog. We got home safe, and I had an encounter that I have never had since. This was back in '05. This is 3 years after my first encounter. I call it the Ferdinand charge. The night I got awakened, the night I knew these things were real. And that's why I kept walking my dog all the time. And when I got home in the afternoon, I got on the Knobstone Trail, and almost 3 years later through the day, that was my second encounter. So then I knew from that day forward, what I was dealing with. And that's why I started calling them the forest people. That they wasn't a monkey man, and they wasn't an ape, they wasn't a gorilla, they wasn't Giant Picadus. They were big, strong men with hair on their bodies, with arms and hands and legs and feet, just like us, just on a bigger scale and a different look, but a godly creation nevertheless. So from that day on, I knew they were godly people. I knew they probably wasn't from planet Earth, but they're here now. And I knew what I was getting myself into. I hit pay dirt. I knew this was going to be a new awakening for me, a new door opening at this day with these two gentlemen. And it has been encounter after encounter after encounter. I mean, I've been made fun of this by people. Like this one lady who's been doing this 50 years. Said, well, I ain't like Greg Yells. I don't see him behind every bush. Says, and I don't appreciate stuff like that. I don't care who people think they are. Don't disrespect me until you know me. Don't backstab me or talk behind my back until you walk a mile in my boots. You know nothing about me or nothing about what I do. And for people to sit back and make such idiocy comments, it's sickening. That's why I don't waste my energy on people like that. I'm going forward, and I'm looking at all these people in my rearview mirror. I'm seeing what they're doing. I'm seeing how they go about it. And I'm up here, man. I'm leading the pack in my books. And like I told the lady last night, I'm not doing it for fame or fortune. I don't want their breath, and I don't want their greed. I don't want it. All I want is for people to know the truth. just like I wanted to know it. That's why I learned the truth all by myself. I didn't listen to anybody. I have taken information from people. Yeah, I had a very good a learning process with Arla Colette Williams. She's very knowledgeable on this subject. And I've seen her a few times. She's been to my campground. She came camping a night or two. Uh, she turned me on to stuff I would never would have thought of, like drumming and sage. And like you said at the beginning, Pork, is sitting around, or Mike, or whoever said it, sitting around being yourself, laughing, having a good time, drumming, singing, laughing. Yeah, and they will surround your area, man. They will come in and they want to be part of this. And she really opened my eyes with a lot of this. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I mean, I think everybody believes the first thing, you know, that they're a flesh and blood, something out there in the woods. I don't know what, but you know, that have seen them or whatever. I've seen shows. Yeah, I mean, not too many people believe in them in the first place. So I mean, that's the way most people would think of it. But then as the journey continued, yeah, I learned a lot and seen a lot that showed me that that wasn't who they are or what they were. So that was going to be my three biggest quests in this. Yeah, you know, the three big questions. You know, what are they? Who are they? And where are they from? And I think I can answer every one of them questions now with what I believe to be the 100% truth. So I mean, that's where I wanted to be. And now my next level in the journey is, yeah, I want to personally be with them. I want to hang with them. I want to walk with them. I want to break bread with them. I want to sleep in their tribe. I want to show them that I'm one with them and they're one with me. And man, and the forest people can live together as people do. Yeah, I like to bring up a good point. In the Bible, it says God created 6 mansions, meaning heavens, if you interpret it correctly. Okay, the first mansion everybody knows as far as humans. Okay, has anybody ever asked herself or thought, well, gee, here are the other 5 mansions for? Well, I can tell you one thing. One of the mansions are for the forest people because they live the way God wants his creations to live. They will be going to a mansion when they die. They are pure people. They're the ancient ones, just like biblical people, just like Moses and all them people back there who could live into their hundreds. You know, Moses was 140 years old, leading the chosen few through the desert, looking for the promised land at 140. How many people can walk around now at 140? See my point? You don't even see nobody hardly that's past 100 nowadays because man has lost the will and the knowledge how to live a long, prosperous life like God wanted us to do. Pure life, healthy life, not consumed and greed and all your toys people buy and all your gadgets and all your big TVs and your big houses and your big swimming pools. And you could give a rat's ass about hardly anybody else. It's all about you and what you got. But I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, that ain't the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm happy you made it good in life. Yeah, I mean that's what life is about: be successful and have a good life. But I mean, a lot of these people get carried away with it, and they blatantly brag, and they're arrogant,
And
and other
before you
people,
start the
greedy
show there,
people,
before you
other
start the show
people
there, Greg,
that would turn their
Brian was
shoulder on
talking
people
about
in
making
need,
a rant.
which is
And now
everywhere,
you're doing
especially
it
in
doing
this day and
what he
age.
did.
Every time I see a guy panhandling, I'll throw him a buck or something. I know the man's down and out. I mean, that dollar probably means the world to that guy. And I see a lot of people walk by him and yell out, "Ah, get a job, you effing bum." Yeah, well, maybe that guy can't get a job. Maybe that guy is close to death. I mean, how would these people feel if that was their brother or sister or mom and dad out there in front of that store begging for money? So I mean, yeah, I don't judge people for anything. I mean, a poor man are some of the best people in the world. I
That's the
don't know too many
Sasquatch's
rich
big, one of
people,
their biggest
but I
lessons
know
is
how
no
they
judgment.
are, and I know how they think.
They
And
great.
that's another reason the forest people have chosen me to do what they do with me, because in my eyes, I'm a great man. I'm an honest man. I'm a fair man. Yeah, I'm a firm man at times, but I got a heart of gold. And most people can't say that. And I can. And the people around me can feel my good positive energy. I can walk into a room and people stop and stare at me. I mean, they feel my energy just vibrating off my vessel. I am filled with God. God is very strong in my body. And this is another reason I have success with this. I walk every mile with God. I am nothing without him. And the forest people, they believe a lot what I do. Keep it simple. Keep a good life, an honest life, a life with a good heart. Respect everything. The animals in the forest, all the people on this earth. I mean, there's some people I don't like, but I don't hate anybody. I mean, I try to spread the love. I mean, the world's full of enough hate. I mean, enough is enough. I mean, we need more love in this world, and we need more godly people. And all I'm trying to do is get the message out about this, uh, and and what it would lead to your accomplishments in the force, living a kind of life that I do. I mean, I feed stray cats, 20 or so of them. I mean, poor cats, people probably dump out like garbage. I mean, another example of man. I mean, just sickening behavior. And and the forest people knows this, man. They're disgusted in man. Why do you think they live in the forest? They don't want to be nowhere around us. We mess everything up we touch. We pollute the forest. We pollute the waters. We pollute the air. We pollute the oceans. Everything is so polluted and toxic. Why? All because of man. Because man couldn't live the way God wanted us to. And yeah, and it's a pity, man. It's a pity. And yeah, the price will be paid one day for all this. I hate to tell these people. And I hope you enjoy all your big houses and all your possessions and all your money, because you're not taking it with you. Yeah, that's when life starts, man. That's when God's gonna judge you for who you are and what you are when you spent your time here on earth. And I have no doubt in my mind I'm gonna have a very good afterlife. You know, when I leave this vessel here, my energy is strong, and I would travel elsewhere, preferable to the heavens and the kingdom. But some of these people, unfortunately, will not make it that far. I'm not going to get into all that, but I just wanted to make a point of your quality of life and what is connected with your life through the four people's life. And I think I made a pretty good connection that the forest people love good-hearted men like myself, who like to keep it simple and who like to show nothing but respect to them. Yeah, you don't want your picture taken? Hey, I'm not going to take it. You don't want me to go out here and scream and beat on trees? Hey, no problem. I won't do it. What do you want me to do? Sitting here in my campsite? Would you rather would you be more favorable to that? And that way you can come and see me anytime you want. I'll be here all weekend. So that's the way I keep now. And soon as the sun goes down, yeah, I guess he's out there in the woods looking at us. I said, yeah, that's simple. No screaming, no tree knocking. Maybe a gentle, hey, good evening, my friends in the forest. Yeah, hey, I got a lot of friends here tonight. Can you light your eyes up for us? You know, like I told you before. And, usually within minutes, if not seconds, here comes the lights. Here comes a whack. Here comes a whack over here. Here comes a some kind of vocal, not usually a whoop, but other kind of vocals. But yeah, I talk to the force. Yeah, it's not like it's a big secret, but it works for me. I told other people this, and they're amazed. And you can talk to almost anybody who has come here and witnessed me done this. You know, I mean, this ain't me just talking. This ain't me, having a dream last night. This happens. This is real. I mean, I can talk to the force people. I can ask them to do stuff. One of the most amazing examples of this, I was going to Washington. I was going to move there, and I did in fact go, but it didn't work out. So I came back to Indiana. But the weekend before I left, not just past Memorial Day weekend, but the year before, which would be 2020. Yeah, this was Memorial Day weekend, and I was leaving in like late June, heading out west. So I had some people with me, Ernie Pike, Denise Pike, and their daughter from Tennessee. She came home from college, wanted to come out with us. And these people are very credible, very honest people. Ernie is the lead head investigator at Waverly Hospital over in Louisville, Kentucky. Probably the most haunted structure in the world. Everybody's heard of Waverly Hospital. Been all over TV show for years, and he's the head lead investigator there, and he takes groups around. You know, his wife takes groups around. They do tours there. Well, they were out with me this night, and just what I told you, I raised my arms up and I asked them to do stuff. And this wasn't at the campsite. This is another area I go to where a family, Big Red's family lives. He's probably a 12-foot. He's probably a 12-footer. He's got big, beautiful red eyes. He's got a very beautiful old lady. She's got very pretty red eyes, and he's got 3 small children, and they all got very beautiful red eyes. A whole family with red eyes, and I call him Big Red. He's one of my best buddies, and I graciously asked Big Red. I said, "Hey man, I'm going to Washington, man, in a couple of weeks. I will probably never be I got out here again. This is my final farewell and goodbye to you people. You know, I'm very saddened by this. I really don't want to leave, but I got a great opportunity out in Washington." I go, so yeah, I really want something big to happen tonight. I want something to remember the rest of my life. I go, I really want something big. I go, please. I said, awake this force and awake it now. And I said more stuff besides that. I always pray through God, you know, not to them, but I pray through God that they got my assurance that I'm praying through God for them to do this, that I'm not doing it for my greedy needs or anything. I'm doing it the way I feel is the respectful and right way to do it. So we're all standing there out in front of Ernie's car. We was all in Ernie's car. There's 4 of us, 7 trees, one after another. I mean, you're getting violently pushed over and broken. And a thunderstorm just went over, but it is well moved past out of the area. No wind, just a little light rain, you know, nothing to blow these trees over. And 7 of them got, I mean, it sounded like a tornado going through there. 7 trees just got blown up. So we're all standing there, man. And I go, man, I said, oh my God. I said, I cannot believe this. And Ernie goes, man, he goes, you asked for it. And I'm like, I know, dude, I did ask for it. So his wife, I mean, she's not afraid of anything, Denise. And she done walked up the road about 50 feet. She goes, "Hey guys, up here, I found one of them." And we go up there, and there's a 2.5 foot diameter Indiana red oak tree, a very hardwood tree that was pushed over out of its root ball. Like a bulldozer pushed it over. And we were just amazed, man. And it was sitting like this. It was diagonal up on another tree on the other side of the tree. And it was leaning in a branch, and it couldn't fall all the way down. So I went up underneath. I stuck my hand up. It was about 7 feet up where I could touch it. Going up, it went higher as it went up in this other tree, about 20 feet up altogether. So we're like, we're talking about what happened, how amazing it was. It happened right after I asked him to do it. So we go back to the car 50 feet away. We're at a little pull-in area. There's one picnic table and a little fire pit. That's all that's here. And this is right in the middle of my hot spot. Just for your information, it just wasn't some random spot. So I knew I get tons of activity there, and I was hoping they'd get something. This was their first time doing this, and I wanted something big for them. So anyway, we're standing there, and we're just awed, and we thanked them. I had everybody clap. I even have everybody clap. We clapped and applauded and thanked them and gave them a heartfelt appreciation. And then 20 minutes after all this happened, right up the road there, right where we just walked by from, you see that tree up there going like this. Another 2.5 foot diameter red oak tree getting shook like a toothpick up here. I mean, just going. And then we looked up and we seen a big black mass 20 feet up in that tree, like standing there shaking the hell out of it. Then all of a sudden, sounded like another bomb went off. And we're all standing there watching 50 feet in front of us. Then he jumped out of the tree. You heard a big thump, and he run off into the woods. We immediately go back up there. And what happened, the tree that was holding up the other tree, he broke that one down, so the other tree down too. So he come back and finished the job, in other words. And we were really just freaked out then, man. I mean, it was incredible. And the noise, man, I swear, like a bomb going off. 2.5 foot tree breaking, and he pushed it. I mean, a hard red oak pushed it over and broke it, and it was like a 20-foot tear in it. And it went over to the left of the woods, and the other one was now laying flat on the ground. So, I mean, yeah, we're freaking now. And they do a lot of ghost investigations. Like I said, they're ghost hunters, and they wanted a Bigfoot experience. So she asked me if she could do a couple things, man, that they do in the paranormal stuff, and I'm like what? She goes, well, you always talk about there being so high energy and everything. I got this screw flashlight here. She goes, can we sit it on a log or the tree pushed over, and can I ask a couple questions and see if we get a response? I said, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Hey, I'm game. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. So I told him, I said, hey, I said, Denise is gonna put this flashlight here on this tree over the road. She's gonna ask you questions. We're gonna walk up her about 20 feet. And, Denise told him how to work it. All you got to do is screw it in just a little bit, and the light comes on. And she explained to it, for yes, turn the light on once, and for no, turn it on twice for us. And she goes, and I'll ask nice, easy questions. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. All right, no harm, and nobody's gonna get hurt. Everything's cool. I mean, very, very nice woman, and man, her husband Ernie. So we go up about 20 feet, and she immediately goes, Big Red, did you do this? The light came on, went right back off. She goes, did you and your friends push the other ones down as well too? The light came on, went back off, meaning yes. Then she goes, "Did you do this for Greg after he asked you to do it?" The light came on again and went back off. And then she goes, "Do you love Greg?" The light came back on and went back off. And that was about the sum of the questions. Then she got up and she goes, "Are you satisfied?" I'm like, "I am overwhelmed, Denise. You just blew my mind." I said something had to be turning that light off and on, and it was answering every question truthfully. I mean, you asked it if it was Big Red. How many Big Reds? He knows what I call him. He knows he's Big Red. So anyway, we go back up to the picnic table, and we're talking about all this. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know how people can get much better of a night than this. I mean, I had great nights over and over and over. And I say every one's the best one. But if you all sum them up, they're all the best. Every one of them's unique in their own way. But this one here, something like this is really special. So, I mean, like this wasn't enough. Then here comes the icing on the cake. We're standing there, and like I said, the thunderstorm is well out of the area. It still had heat lightning coming through, which would, the heat lightning flashes up for a minute, lights up the area, and then, no thunder, nothing. My dad always called it heat lightning. So I mean, it lit up, lit up back there in the forest every now and then. So I'm looking over to the right, and it had a flash of heat lightning, and there's 5 forest people standing 60, 70 feet away, right there at the tree line, but out of the tree line, and they were very big, 7, 8 footers, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder, 5 of them. So I looked at them, and then the lightning went away, and I'm going, "Oh my God, dude!" I mean, I go, "Don't even say nothing, man." Let these people see them, man. I go, "Yeah," because every time I go out, they're like, "Well, how come you always see them and we never see them?" So I just sat there. So all of a sudden, Denise goes, "You wouldn't believe what I just seen over there." And I go, "What?" She goes, "There's 5 Bigfoot standing over there, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder." She goes, "I just seen them." She goes, "They're very big and very tall." And I go, "Slap me high five." And she goes, "Why?" I go, "I just seen them too. But I just want to get verification that somebody else can see them." I go, "Am I the only one that can see them?" "No, I'm not. People with me can see them too." So, I mean, she's seen them. Ernie didn't see them, or the daughter didn't see them, but she did. So we, after a long, very remember night, we left. And this is why I do this, for stuff like this. And I don't know if your listeners listening, but I can God's honestly say it really doesn't get much better than that night.
Yeah. I've had the same thing, answering with lights, but mine was like a big beam of 3 big beams that came down from the sky and were answering my questions. Way
We
more.
got a lot of viewers today. We got Who Hizzle and Randy Bell and Deborah Klein.
Yeah. Well, the reason, Greg, that
Everybody.
the reason, Greg, that people criticize you and people like myself and whatever is because they don't have the heart connection. So they can't even fathom the experiences that we're having because they're not connected to them. They're not going to give them anything. So, right?
Oh, I agree with you. But I don't know why they gotta spew so much hate for people just trying to get the truth out. I got a good I probably got a good answer for that.
Because they can't fathom it.
I mean, just like my post the other day, y'all probably seen about Eyeshine. I was at a Bigfoot conference. And I really didn't want to go. I think them things are. I think there's a lot of toxicity, a lot of toxic stuff in them Bigfoot shells, and a lot of untruths being spread around. And I really don't want to put myself in the people that are spreading lies, and they know it, but they still do it. because it fits their agenda. You know, like this one gentleman we were listening to said if people talked about I shine or seen I shine, he goes, run from them people quick. They're hallucinating on drugs. You know, and this guy is a very well known, very well respected man all over TV, all over the country. He's speaking at shows, table full of books that he has wrote. You know, a bona fide expert in his own mind, I guess, a legend in his own mind, you could say. And I seen right through this joker. He had the most toxic energy I've ever felt. He didn't know anything about the force people. He was in it. He's in the game for one thing. Show me that money. So yeah, he's not gonna agree with I Shine because it would make him look like a fool for saying stuff like that and writing books about stuff like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about the force people like I do.
Craig,
And that's why I don't hang around with people like that.
When you have a
I don't
connection,
care how
hang on a
big
second,
and
Craig.
famous you are in the Bigfoot world.
When you have a
I
connection,
don't care about none of them people. You know, most of them are in it for one thing, the money.
man, it's hard to get a word in edgewise
I
with you.
guess they
I
thought
will
Go on,
say
Greg.
that.
Keep
being
going.
popular,
Man.
being famous, going on speaking at all the Bigfoot shows. Yeah, I get invited to speak at a lot of them, but that's not my bag. I mean, if people want to listen to me, they can listen to my interviews or come to the force and get to know me and see what the Squatch man's all about. Yeah, I mean, I don't have nothing to sell. I have nothing to sit at these tables. Like, it's like a Bigfoot flea market walking me there. Hey, I'm one of the few people who what I am. I am a very popular guy because people want to know the truth and they're sick of the lies. And that's why I'm popular. It's not because of the Bigfoot shows. I've never made a dime selling anything for Bigfoot. I mean, I got some of the best pictures out there of Bigfoot. I could have them remade and sold. I could sell footprint casts. I could sell T-shirts. I can do all kinds of things to make money. Write books. I had authors come to me wanting to write books. So I said I got enough information for book after book after book. Again, it's not about that. It's about getting the truth out to the people. I don't care if people stab me in the back. I don't care if they turn their back. I don't care if they talk behind my back. I'm doing this for one reason, to get the truth out. And I walk with God. That's the only man I got to answer to. Like you said before, all these other people, people that want to ridicule my beliefs and my truths. Well, I'm looking at these people in the rearview mirror. Yeah, what do they got? What do they know? They got all the multi-million-dollar equipment and all the garbage. Where's all their stuff at? Yeah, I had a $20 Samsung flip phone. I got some of the best pictures out there on. Just think what I could get if somebody turned me loose with all that. But no, that's not me. I'm a simple man. I keep it simple, and I promise to the forest people that I would never do that to them again. After I got a message on my audio recorder speaking Squatch and English, both at the same time, and from that day on, I knew it was more about gadgets. But I'll tell you exactly what happened that day. It was probably 2016. Me, my son, and Michael Cook were camping. I set out a bunch of donuts back at the gifting stump, and I put an audio recorder back there underneath some leaves. It was in October, and I hid it under leaves, and it was out there almost 20 hours. So when I got home and played that audio, it blew my mind. And I got this and I have never went big on it. Some people have heard it. I shared it with Connie Willis on her show. Other than that, it's been pretty well a kept secret. But on my audio digital recorder, right around high noon, yeah, of all times of the day, right when the sun's the brightest, I had one pick the audio up, and we're up there making hot dogs. I remember this day very good. And he turns the audio around and he taps on it 5 times. And then he goes, he talks in an audible that I couldn't understand. It was not English. I have sent this to a sound expert. He is verified and not to be English, not to be human. Humans could not talk like this. He verified it.
Oh, I can.
Okay.
I can imitate him.
Then it gets interesting.
Hey, Greg,
You hear
let me
3
interrupt you for a
massive
second.
footsteps.
Let me interrupt you for a second. This is an
Walks up
interview.
to
That
the
means
one
we have to
holding the
say some
audio.
stuff too.
And
We
he
have to.
says,
We have to say
"Yeah,
things
what?
as well.
What
Okay,
is
go
it?"
ahead.
Ugh. And then he takes 4 steps, rips a tree out of a branch out of a tree and goes, bang! I mean, one of the most frightening tree knocks I've ever heard in my life. So me and Eugene, we was, man, we just couldn't believe what we caught on that audio. So we pieced it together. You know, one come up and found it. Another one comes up and says, "Yay wall, what is it?" And the other one went, shh, you know, like it's an audio. Then he went, ugh, out of disgust. And he went over and ripped that branch out and smacked the tree with it, letting me know that's a major no-no. And if you're going to get somewhere with us, it's not going to be this way. And that's the message I got from that. And I took that message to clergy. I took that message to, I'm a Catholic. I took it to the Catholic priest. I even took it to a Catholic bishop. I took it to a friend of mine in Kentucky, a very well-respected Bigfoot researcher and preacher, Don Biggiefoot Neal. Y'all probably heard of him. I shared this with all these people trying to figure out the Yahweh or Yahweh is pronounced different ways, but the Cherokee natives, their tribe used to pray to Yahweh as God. So Yahweh is God. So I was trying to find out, did he walk up and say, Yahweh is this? Was that God standing there? Was that Yahweh standing there? He said, Yahweh, what is it? Or as Don put it, he might have been, as a human would say, oh my God, what is that? So, I mean, I would probably never know until they tell me what they meant by that. But the important thing is about the whole message about this is I learned from that day that they were very disgusted in me after everything we've been through. And I tried to trick them, try to hide an audio recorder underneath the leaves. And they let me know from that day on, do not do it again. We shall not be tricked. And if you try it again, we're going to cut you off, man. We're not going to do nothing with you no more. And I got down on my hands and knees and I prayed and I asked for forgiveness from God for doing such an ignorant thing. And to this day, that is in my rules. No games, no gadgets, no guns. And that, my friend, is why I don't use gadgets and I don't like people to use them. I mean, if you want to use them, hey, go anywhere you want to. I mean, you can use them 24 hours a day. I don't care. Just don't use them when I invite you to my place. You're disrespecting me and you're disrespecting the forest people. And I don't want to ever go back to having them mad at me again. I'm on a great relationship with them, and that's the way I want to keep it.
So you had mentioned earlier that you know who they are. What there was 3 questions that you had. You said that they answered for you about who they were, where they're from, and there was one other one. So do you want to tell us about that? The answers to those 3 questions you discovered?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, again, this is my beliefs of who they are, what they are, and where are they from. Yeah, in one way or another, yes, they have contacted me and they have presented this knowledge to me. Yeah, this is something I'm not making up or dreaming. This is what I truly believe. So I will answer your question. First of all, they're the Anunnaki Lulu, the working class people of the planet they came from. They're godly people, just like us, not from Earth, but from another planet. But now they call Earth home. Their planet has been destroyed because of lack of oxygen. They knew about Earth because they came here to Earth a lot for hundreds and hundreds of years getting gold, not for their riches, not at all. They run their ionizers, which is clean air machines they had to purify their air, and gold is used for filters, believe it or not. And they did this for a long time until the air got so bad on their planet. They had no choice but to all move to Earth. Um, they don't hang around with the aliens, the little grays. They got their own way of transportation. They don't need anybody for anything. Um, what the name of the planet is, I couldn't tell you. I don't think they told me that. They told me a lot that night. I mean, I'll tell you, I had an out of body experience. I was on a craft. They said it was one of their crafts. I never seen nothing like it, man. It was all metallic, whatever it was, and I was in a room surrounded by 15 of them. It's like a big council, and the two in front of me, I was in the middle, and the two in front of me were very, very bright light entities. That somebody was behind the lights, but their energy and power was so bright, I could not really make it out. But I figured them two was the God and his son. It had to be. So anyway, after a lengthy conversation and discussing, I woke back up in my bed the next morning, and I thought I had a dream. I thought I had a wild ass dream. Yeah, I didn't think stuff like this could happen. So I remember I went to bed, man. I had a killer headache, and my back was killing me, man. I mean, I felt horrible. This was Friday night. It was the weekend. It was the 4th of July weekend. I remember that. And the guy behind one of the bright lights said, "Yeah, when you wake up in the morning, this will not be a dream. Your headache and your back will be completely healed, and you will be free of your pains that you went to bed with. And if this isn't enough, go out and try to start your machine. Your brand new power device has been drained. I just bought a brand new Sears diehard battery 2 days prior to this. Brand new, heavy. So I get up, man. I feel like a 20-year-old man. I'm stretching and I'm like, oh my God. I go, did this really happen last night? So I go, my Jeep, my Jeep. I go, that's going to be the sign, man. If it's dead, dude, I know this happened. So as I run out to the driveway, nothing, man. And the radio wouldn't even come on. I mean, dead bone dry. So I'm like, well, so Eugene comes home from work and I didn't even say nothing. He goes, Dad, what in the hell happened to you last night? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, me and Tanya, that's his wife now, it was his girlfriend back then. Well, they slept in the room in front of mine down the hall. I was the last room on the left on the hall. They had the bedroom in front of mine, and there was about an inch gap there underneath the door, an ill-fitting door, but it was tighter up top than it was at the bottom. So we just let it float like that, no big deal. and they're very, yeah, I'm not gonna say hippie kind of young people, but they're free spirited people, and they like doing stuff like, you know, walking in the forest barefooted, sleeping on hard surfaces, you know, living a simple life, much like me, much like his father, and which is really cool. And he said they were laying there and they just laid down and always have a hall light on in the back of the hall down by the bathroom that shines up the hall. And he said, well, Dad, about 2 o'clock in the morning, me and Tanya's in here, man. We got our lava light on. And we hear some creaking down the halls. And so we look under the door as two big ass feet walk by. And then another pair of two ass big feet. And then I go, what, did you see them? He goes, no, man. He goes, well, they were bigger than mine. And then he wears a size 16. He's got big feet. So I go, well, what happened then? He goes, well, it sounded like they walked into your room and it quit. So he said, I jumped up, man. I thought they were intruders. So I grabbed my gun, man, and run back to your room. And you was laying in bed, man, but it didn't feel right in there, man. It was real eerie. I'm like what? And he goes, oh, like all the energy and everything got sucked out of your room. It just felt, it just didn't feel right, Dad. It didn't feel, I didn't feel your good energy in there, man. It was like you wasn't in there. It just your body was laying there on the bed. He goes, what happened? So as I told him, and he's like, oh my God. He's like, Dad. He's like, this is crazy, dude. He goes, is this really happening? So I'm like, dude, it's gotta be. So to verify this, yeah, before I left that craft that night, yeah, the bright lights, man, they were the ones doing all the talking. They introduced me to all of them sitting around. They were men, women. He said they were all on the council, and I would be sitting on the council with them one day. And I shall sit and wait for the message from the messenger when this will happen. This was two or three, 2016, 4 or 5 years ago. So I figure sooner or later, something's gonna happen. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. I had a winter camp out. There only a handful of people came, and when I pulled up to the campsite, Bob Spencer, the man I talked about earlier, the old man, 77 years old, hey, I seen them rocks back there on the gifting stump you put. They're pretty. I said, Bob, I just got here. I didn't put no rocks back there. And he goes, man, you got to come back here. I mean, him and his daughter are so excited. You got to see this. You got to see this, Squatch, man. And I said, well, I just got here, dude. He goes, you got to see it. So we go back there, and you would not believe what I'm about to tell you. There was 15 rocks, black rocks, real polished and shiny, that had the forest people orally touch on them, surrounding my tree stump, my gifting stump. 15 of them spread apart, with two bigger ones up at the top. And guess what was in the middle? One of them rocks, I can't think of the names. You break them open and it looks like diamonds in there, a geonoid or a geostone, whatever they call them. Well, that was sitting there, a small one, with a black rock on top of that, right in the middle of the stump, and it had a Y stick right next to it. Nobody knows nothing about Y sticks. They give me them all the time. That represents my name, Yost. And that's a telltale for sure sign that they're leaving me stuff when they put a Y stick in with it, because nobody knows of this. This is one of my catch-all tricks. If there's a Y stick there, and nobody knows that they do that to me. I've had them by my Jeep. I had them outside my tent. It's like a greeting. Hey, yo, hey, why, man? Hey, Yost. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But there was a Y stick right by the big rock. This was the exact same identical placement of everything the night of what I thought was my out of body experience. They are letting me know. And I told everybody that I told everybody who come because they kept asking me, "What's that mean? What's that mean?" Well, I told them. They're letting me know that that wasn't a dream. 2 years later, they're letting me know, 3 years, whatever it was, that yeah, that night happened, and they just showed it to me on my gifting stump how it went down that night. And I got these rocks in a bag, and I took them home, and them rocks mean everything to me. That's like a bag of gold to me. And that, my friend, is the icing on the cake. And so this is where I'm at with the forest people. Um, and after you get a messages like that, well, you got to figure out. My son is highly intelligent, just like his father, and we discuss this stuff on a daily basis. Okay, you're going to sit on the counselor. Okay, well, what council is this going to be? Let's figure out. Well, what's the council going to be, Dad? He goes, surely with our intelligence, we can figure it out. Hey, well, we have figured it out. The council is going to be the new world order when the forest people and the humans come together and live as one race, as God intended it to be. It's been a long time in the making, but it will be happening, and it's going to happen very soon. And for people who want to make fun of me for saying this or don't believe it, hey, I could care less. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe, and you can live your life the way you want to live. I'm not here to tell you nothing. I'm telling you what happened to me and what I believe is going to happen, and all the evidence points to that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you everything they told me at that meeting, but I will tell you it wasn't pretty, man. What's going to happen to a lot of people on Earth? It's not pretty, and I can guarantee you, a lot of people probably like me have been getting messages. I see a lot of stuff going around Facebook. I mean, I remember growing up. The people walking the streets, pray to God, the end is near. I thought they were a bunch of nut jobs. I'm not saying none of that. There, the end is near, nothing like that. But I'm a religious man. I'm a godly man, and it's all about God with me. And everything I have done with the forest people, I can thank God for, because He's the one that has opened my mind and opened my eyes to see and understand them like they're supposed to be seen. And I have accomplished this. And now it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. I mean, you heard people talking about going down the rabbit hole. Hey, well, I'm down that rabbit hole, not by choice. My journey has took me here, my journey to the truth. And I'm 100% for sure it's the truth of what I speak from my tongue. I would not lie to anybody. I've never told a lie. I'm not about that. I'm a good man, and I speak the truth. And people can believe me or they can't. But this has happened to me, and they have chosen me to tell me this and do this to me. Why? It's all about this. They know what kind of man I am. That they put me through a lot of tests. They put me through a bravery test. That more than once. That they put me through a heart test. See how kind I was. I mean, it was a long journey of building up to where I'm in with them. I just didn't come up and knock on their door and say, yeah, I'm the man. Here I am. Yeah, this is a long time coming and a long time working from what I have worked with to get where I'm at. And again, I cannot 100% tell you that everything I speak is the truth, but to me it is. And I firmly believe it is the truth. And like I always tell Eugene, I said, hey, Eugene, I'm not right all the time, but I usually am. So meaning I'm very wrong, very, very rarely. I'm a very sensible man, very intelligent man, and I use the greatest gift God gave us, our brain. I mean, I have figured out so much with my brain in what the force people are capable of doing and what their goal is here on Earth. That's basically what they want to do in the long run. They want to coexist with humans. Um, they want to share the earth. They would rather not hide in the woods anymore. And again, I would like to bring up, look at the condition of this world right now. It's probably the worst it has ever been. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about anything, but if you got ears and eyes, you know what I'm talking about, of all corners and aspects of what's going on around the world. I mean, not just in America, I'm talking all over Cuba, everywhere. It's in complete, utter chaos and disaster. You got people fighting each other over the COVID shot. Again, I haven't received a COVID shot and I will not get one, but I'm not going to bash somebody for getting one. Eugene's mom got one 3 days ago. She can't. Her nose has been bleeding constantly. I mean, did it cause it? I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about the COVID shot. I'm just saying it was put here to pit man against man, more conflict, more anger, more discontent, more hatred. It's all adding up.
Yep.
All the groups, all the just on and on and on. I mean, you get my drift. This is not the earth or the people God wanted on it. Where we pollute everything. We pollute the rivers, the oceans, the streams, the forests with trash, the highways, the garbage is everywhere. Humans are despicable. So they don't care about anything no more. And I bring up this point that God destroyed this earth once for a far lot less. Back in the biblical days with Noah when he built his ark and saved two of everything for when God did his regrowth, his rebirth, his purge, his cleansing. He's seen enough and he wanted to get rid of all these bad people. They wasn't worshiping him. They wouldn't listen to his son. They laughed at him. They threw rocks at him. And eventually they crucified him. God seen enough of the people. And he destroyed the earth with the flood. And they brought them all back to regrow. And here we are again, hundreds of years later. And look where we're at. Way, way worse off than they were. And I tell people every day, you think, how long you think God's going to tolerate this? So I've been saying something big is going to happen. And I will stay with that. It's going to happen. And it's not going to be pretty. I mean, I told you the force people did tell me. But I can't tell you everything, pork and beans. This is pretty disturbing, and I have told a few people, and maybe one day I'll tell others, but there's nothing I can do about it. They said it's too late. They said the plans are already in the works. Everything is set in stone. It will happen.
Can
But
you hear me? Can you hear
until
me?
that day happens,
Can you hear me
they
now?
tell me all they want me to do is keep preaching the truth about who they are and what they are and where they're from.
Problem, Beans, is that
They want mankind to know who they are,
that's the
and that
problem.
they're good-hearted, loving people, and they're not here to hurt us. They're not here to kill us. They're here to help us. They're here to show us the right way of living. But man has made that impossible because all man wants to do is try to shoot them, try to put them in a zoo, try to put them in a cage, try to drive one around a country in a steel wagon like a freak show exhibit at the carnival. Well, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. None of that will ever happen.
Hey, Greg, can you hear me?
Of course, people are very loving, very kind people. But if you start pissing them off and rubbing them the wrong,
Hey, Greg, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Greg?
well, you can't hear me.
I can hear you, but you can't hear us.
This is the problem. We're trying to comment with you, but you can't hear anything we're saying. So you've got to somehow be able to hear us so that we can have a discussion. We
I can hear you now.
Yeah, but because I'm yelling, but you've got to have a better volume or something on your end so that we can.
Hey, Greg, could you give us a hint whether this big disaster is going to come from the government or it's going to come from nature? Do you know the difference if it's going to come from the government or come from nature?
No, it's not gonna come from me. It's gonna come from God.
Whoa.
It's got another cleansing, another purge, so to speak.
What is going to
A lot of
happen?
people won't make this.
What is going to happen to people like you and myself, people that are connected with them? What's going to happen? You see, we got to get a better volume connection here because
Just ask a question and quit commenting. He wants to know if the friends of Sasquatch are going to be okay. The
Oh,
people-
definitely. People like yourself, people like me, you have nothing to worry about. Good-hearted, godly people have nothing to fear.
well,
If you're not one of these people, I suggest you, rethink your views on life and get your butt to church, maybe.
yeah, well, yeah, I agree with you. Can you turn your volume up, Greg, somehow so that we
Brian,
can?
talk
Yeah,
to him.
that's what I
Brian, when
keep checking. I got it
can't
all
hear
the way
like
up.
that, he's listening to you, so you got to talk when he's got his.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all the way up. I don't know what else I can do.
Okay.
Just get your question and ask him to just go like this, and he'll put it up there. Ask your question now.
So, what is going to happen to the friends of Sasquatch, the people who are connected to them, like ourselves? Where are we? Where are we? Are we going to a new dimension, a new reality? Where are we headed? How are they going to take care of their people?
Okay, yeah, I got that loud and clear, and that's a great question, and I do have the answer for that. Well, there's going to be 1.8 million people saved, and they will be going to a safe spot, which is, I already know where it's at. It's an island off the Alaska coast. That's going to be the safe spot. That's where all the people will go for 7 years, and it's going to take 7 years for God and his workers. This is where the forest people come in at. They will help restructure, rebuild the earth, get it back to green the way God wanted it. Get rid of all your cities, get rid of all that kind of nonsense. Go back the way God wants us to be. Godly people with hardly no possessions and very simple people, but very happy people and very loving people and very respectful people. And we will all be alike. And we will be governed by one, not a government, but a world order. And the forest people and humans will sit on the council together. You know, the way I look at it, half and half. This will be the new world order, and there will only be one order. And then everybody will, the 1.8 million people that were saved after the 7 years, then you will spread out and go back over God's world and repopulate it, regrow it. More generations of God-fearing, God-loving people. And the forest people will be here to make sure that everybody stays in line and nobody starts worshiping a golden lamb or kill somebody. That kind of behavior will not be tolerated. Zero tolerance. And this will be the new world order.
Well,
This will be good humans and the forest people, which are great people. And we will start a new life, a better life. One without everything that's going on now.
Greg.
Man will lose his greed.
Greg,
Man will lose his anger.
Greg,
Man will lose his riches. It makes him think he's better than other people because of that. Everybody will be the same. Everybody will be provided for. God will take care of his people. Trust me.
Greg.
We will all strive in this environment. It's going to be great, man. And that's about all I can tell you, man. To your question, Bork.
I wanted to ask you something then. So, like when I got my love vibration, my love zap, which was that all-knowing, all-connected, no judgment, no fear, eternal beings or whatever. There was no judgment, there was no hatred, there was none of these lower vibrational things that are consuming man right now. And so I think that we will be in a higher vibrational state so that those things of connection, love, no judgment, and whatever will come naturally to us. Because I've experienced it, I'm sure you have. So I think that is why, you know, we will be okay in that state and that we won't revert back to, you know, the stupidity that we've done before. You know, because it's a higher vibration of no judgment and love.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Bork. You're exactly right, brother. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's what God wants. He does not want what's going on right now. Trust me. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that and our Creator does not want this, and He's gonna make it the way He wanted it back in the beginning. People got to remember, He created this earth, and He can destroy it just as well. And He can keep the people that He wants, and He can get rid of the ones that He doesn't want. I mean, in case people that are listening, if you don't know that there's a war been going on for hundreds of years between good and evil. I mean, how many of these people out here on the streets has the devil taken over and made them people his warriors? There's a lot of evil going around on this earth, people. Everywhere, every corner. Everywhere you go, there's evil. So yeah, keep that in mind. You may know people, but you really don't know them. You don't know what people do behind closed doors. And it has come to a head. And our Lord, our Master, our God has seen enough. And He will protect the good people. There's no doubt. So if you're a good person with a good heart, and like you just said, Pork, about all loving people, all good-hearted people, like I said, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. So that's the way it's going to be. And if you don't fall into that, I'm sorry. You're going to join the rest of them. So that's the way it is, man. Cut and dry.
Yeah, I agree.
poison now. Some living, some standing alone.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I wanted to back up a little bit about some of the things that you were saying. You were hearing them knock down trees and physically move things and crash things around or whatever. Uh, in my area, the guys quite often they make a lot of noise, huge noises like they're constructing stuff or building things, but there's actually nothing there. You can't see anything. It's like it's an auditory thing that they give you, but there's no evidence that they've done it. Do you experience that?
Yeah, I like hearing stuff, but yeah, you don't see nothing. Yeah, so yeah, now you bring it up. Sometimes I hear like sounds like heavy equipment down there, like metal banging around and stuff, and then yeah, there's no evidence or nothing of it.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what I was going to say. You were talking earlier, and thank God we can hear each other now. you were talking you were talking earlier about introducing good people to them and how they really don't like it when people try to like take their picture and do stuff that well, and you figure it out yourself, and then you don't really welcome those people back. With my clan, the way that they work is that, well, the gatherings that I put on, I'm only hosting them. They are actually the ones that are, I mean, I'm only facilitating it. They're the ones that are hosting it, and they invite the people themselves. And how they do that is that they will guide me to meet certain individuals, and then I will get the energy that, yes, talk to this person, invite them, kind of thing. And I'm getting it right now, just by speaking that truth. So they yeah, you don't want bad people there. And with me, they actually, I seldom, I won't take bad people there because they decide who wants to go there beforehand.
Oh, I totally agree to that. But sometimes I don't have much of a choice though, so I got to wait until they get here, and then I find out what kind of person they are, and it's too late, but they won't be back. But I mean, I had them put an X in front of one guy's truck, and yeah, Eugene, yeah, he told me, yeah, that probably means I don't like him, man. Don't ask him to come back. And yeah, I agree with you though, Pork. That's some pretty good stuff. I mean, I get good feelings too. When I'm there and with the right group of people, yeah, nothing but love, man. I mean, it feels so, like a festive. Love in the air. Everybody's happy, laughing. It's just like we talked about. That's the way people should act, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll stand around with an infrared camera in your hand. I mean, what a turnoff. So I don't blame them. They don't like people like that. They despise them. And that's
Yeah,
why most of your evidence these people get with these things are little to nothing.
exactly. So yeah, exactly, man. They're not going to give anybody anything that is not open to them with the heart, because they're not there to entertain us. They're there to teach us. You know, and at my gatherings, actually, like you know, uh, your guys will do stuff like the eye shine and all that stuff. My guys don't do that as much. What my guys do is, when they come to my gatherings, is they change something spiritually. They open their eyes, they open their hearts, they let them see the wonder or whatever, kind of thing. So they work a little differently, but I'm sure that your guys do that as well. But
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Well, actually, now you mention it, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have told me that their lives have been changed about going up there. Um, yeah, I mean, I want to tell you a quick story. There's a friend of mine. He comes up here a lot. His name's Parker Duvall from Kentucky, and he's just like me, just like Tony Maples. Just like you guys. Yeah, he believes in a lot of stuff. We do, and he's one of them kind of guys. So he come up here with his whole family, and he's been up here a lot. I mean, we get a lot of action. So I mean, he took his family back to the gifting stump. Arla was here that weekend. We had like 20 people at the camp, and every one of them great people, man. They had a great time that weekend. So he comes back to the picnic table, and his boy looked like he's seen a ghost. I think he was like a 10-year-old. And Parker comes right up to me, says, "Greg, I need to talk to you right now." I mean, he had a real serious look on his face, and I'm like, "Well, what, Parker? What? Tell me." So, well, what's up, brother? And he goes, "Does the name Clarence mean anything to you?" And I go, "Yeah, it means the world to me." I go, "That was my favorite uncle, Uncle Clarence. He was a dairy farmer, man, here in Indiana. I mean, I love the man. Yeah, I loved him so much. I named my son after him, and him and my dad, my two favorite men, Eugene Clarence." And he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "Dude." He goes, "You're not gonna believe this, Greg." And I said, "What, man? What?" I go, "You know me, Parker. You can tell me anything." And they mind speak to Parker quite frequent. And he goes, "Man, they just told me that they named one of their offsprings Clarence after your boy. He said they love you. You're a good man, and they showed their respect to you by doing this." And I was just flattered, man. I was speechless. And he goes, "That's not all. That's not all." He goes, "My son was staring over to the right, and I kind of glanced up, and he went away when I started glancing up." He goes, "But there was one standing there right there, and that was Clarence. He, he let my boys see him." He goes, "Don't say nothing to him, man." It's a gift for him, man. He didn't want me to tell nobody." I said, "Hey, dude." I go, "God, what a blessing, Parker." I said, "My God, brother." I said, you don't know what this means." So, yeah, this is where I'm at with them, pork and beans. When they start naming their offspring after your son, you're on to something big, man.
you got that right. You got that right. Yeah, I mean, they've told me I'm family with them, and like their son and stuff and whatever too. So yeah, I mean, they love family. So I was going to ask you, um, I've experienced up in my area a lot of the time, like shape shifting and whatever. I see the Sasquatch in the form of owls, ravens a lot. Even people. I've even seen them as people and whatever. Do you have any shape shifting experiences, or do you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I firmly believe in that too. Yeah, I believe they can turn into any animal they want to turn into. and I do have a very, very good experience of that. Well, this was way back, I didn't know what I know now, what I'm talking about now. I didn't know what I was back then. I knew they were out there, but I didn't know what they were and other than. So me and Eugene, we were at a camp out with a good friend of mine, John. Me and Eugene got into a hot and heavy argument about what we're talking about now. Yeah, he's trying to explain to me about all the stuff they can do. I mean, he's a very smart young man, and he was a big part of where I'm at now because of him. I mean, he really took it. He really took it in stride, and he really. I mean, they talked to him, mind speak everything. And like I said, they named a kid after him, so he's very meaningful to them, and he knows a lot about them. Yeah, but he was telling me all this stuff, man, and and you can see John was getting uncomfortable. Some people don't like talking like that. It's like you're crazy or something. And when we got into it, and he's like, whoa. And we got into it hot and heavy, man. We almost got into a fist fight, all right? And John got him up and walked him out into the woods and talked to him for about a half an hour, and they came back. And they sat down. He goes, Dad, I'm not leaving. He's getting ready to leave and everything. So I said, well, that's good. That's all that was said. So we sit down, and there wasn't another word spoken in 20 minutes. And I could feel the tension, man, and the anger. You could cut it with a knife. It was so thick. It just wasn't going well. And I felt like a complete ignorant a-hole, man, for doing that over this. And I even had thoughts. I'm like, well, this ain't worth it. I'm going to get into it. With my own son over this crap. Forget it, man. I'm not even going to mess with it. So I mean, everybody was kind of bent out of shape, man. So we heard loud footsteps behind the tent. Right there by the campfire we were sitting at, my tent and Eugene's tent. We heard footsteps back there coming around the tent. So I'm telling her, look, man, here comes one, here comes one. And as they turned the corner of the tent, the heavy footsteps went away, and it was two little squiggly looking cats like you would never see before in your life. They look like forest cats. But I mean, we have never seen cats out there. I've been out there camping for years, never seen a cat. I had or hair one. And here's two cats. So they walked by real gingerly between us and the tent and the campfire, and looking at us. They didn't take their eyes off of us. Acting really weird, like they were real timid. And they go over to the log sitting over there on the side of the camp over there, and they jump up on the log and they start meowing. So I'm like, oh, the poor cats are hungry. And I just told y'all, man, a lot of people call me the cat man, and I feed the cats. I'm very good-hearted, man, with animals. So yeah, I feed cats. So I had a couple cans of cat food in my Jeep. So I gave it to them, each a can. And about 10 minutes later, I went over there and the cans were completely empty. And they were still over there meowing like they were still hungry. I'm like, my, boy, these little boys got some appetites. So we just got done eating cheeseburgers for supper, and it was dark. This is wintertime. So I cut up a cheeseburger that was extra in the little chunks, little pieces, and I set that over there. And about 10 minutes later, I walked over again, and everything was gone except for one piece of cheeseburger. So Eugene's like, look, Dad, they left you a piece. So we almost knew instantly they had to be squatches. The heavy steps, and then they come around the tent as cats.
Yeah.
And we never seen cats out there before. So John Gregory starts telling us, he's like, look, I mean, very intelligent man in his own right mind, very, very smart. I mean, he figured this one out for us. He said, look, the that was their breaking point. Y'all was tearing them up the way you was acting. They don't want y'all acting like that. He goes, this is the way that they got y'all back on the mission at hand. Got your minds back on the same wavelength. Cheered you up. And she's seen them, and he's like, look, Dad, cats. I mean, it changed the whole atmosphere of everything. We forgot about the argument we just had. Everything was about the cats now. So, John tells us all this. They turned in the cats, man, to change the situation around, and it worked. And everything was cool after that. Everything was fine, and they left us with another cool experience with something we didn't know they could do. And the funny thing about it, about 20 minutes later, they moved down after they ate the cheeseburger. They moved down to the end of the log, and then when I looked again a couple minutes later, they were long gone, never to be seen again, never to be seen in the morning or that afternoon or never. They just popped in and popped out. That's not a behavior of a feral cat. You feed them, man. Them things were starving. They're gonna hang around. They're gonna, hey, this guy fed us. We'll be here for the next meal. They're gonna be around the camp meowing, wanting more food. Not these cats, man. They was not acting like that. They were long gone, and I have never seen them again. So yes, I firmly believe them two cats were the forest people that transformed into them just to get me and my son happy again. That's how loving these people are. They go out of their way to do stuff like this for people they like, and that's what they did.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's no question in my mind that they can shapeshift into any kind of animal. I mean, ravens are huge up here, and owls. I've had I had an experience where my wife and I were sitting on a little piece of sand by a creek, and we had just put our blanket down on the sand. All of a sudden, we seen an X glyph, which to me, the glyphs are all personal to you. And that's my experience. Whatever you and them agree that it means, that's how they're going to interact with you. So the X to me meant friendship welcome. All of a sudden, it ends up on my blanket, like laying right on it. Impossible unless somebody had just put it there. We looked down there, it was. And then we saw a raven watching us from across the water. All of a sudden, that raven flew right over my head. And then I got the feeling I have to go back to the fire. So I went back to the fire, and there at the fire was a raven feather gift laid right there that was 100% not there before. So the raven gifted us with a feather. Now, we both took a bunch of pictures of it. Later on in the evening, those pictures were removed from my camera and my wife's camera. So if that doesn't speak of shape shifting and supernatural, nothing does, You know what I mean? That's just one experience.
Uh, that's a cool story, man, because ravens and crows, yes, they work hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the forest people use them for lookouts and scouts, because during that the audio that I got of them talking and everything, well, you could hear a bunch of them back there squawking right at the same time all through the day, every time something was going on. I mean, I heard they was eating the donuts. You could actually hear them eating them. Throwing the metallic bowl. I had them in a stainless steel dog bowl. When they got done eating the donuts, you could hear them throwing it, and the pan hitting the ground, ding.
Yeah.
Like a metallic object, and all through the day. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's just something funny about it. So, and I tell people all the time, well, what are the famous, or what's the most, famous, or not famous, but animal do you think the forest people like or hang with? And I go, that's easy. It's the crow. I mean, I think I think they look out for them, and in return, the forest people will give them gifts of food, for helping them out. I mean, they can get up high, they can fly right into over humans, check them out. They go over to see what kind of humans are over there. or like you said, that they can do it themselves. I mean, what better way than to watch a bunch of humans disguised as a crow or a raven? I mean, ingenious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some of their abilities.
I mean,
I mean, again, this is people would laugh at and joke about, but hey, the truth's the truth. And all I can do is pray for these people for one day that they will see the truth for what it is. And it's amazing though how you did talk about the crows and the ravens because you're very few people that have brought that up. I mean, I do all the time, and I think they work hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that's incredible, man. Thanks for sharing that, Port.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I mean, for when my wife and I got married, because they brought us together because they told me that we have work to do for them. And so, you know, they've been supporting us, and I'm getting the energy from them, confirmation. But they've told us that for the longest time. And, you know, and they were leaving just prior to the wedding, they were leaving all kinds of glyphs, like almost like wedding cards and amazing messages and stuff. And I even had a sighting of one walking right past me, and then he was leaving like messages about my wife and I. And so one day I was looking at a really significant message that they had left, and all of a sudden I looked over and there were the crows, two crows watching me. They were looking directly at me, man. I know that they were watching me get the message, and I knew it was them, you know, kind of thing. And it's just like, it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing, you know.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I mean, it's hard to believe unless you see it. But people like me and you, man, hey, we know. So I mean, that's the cool thing about knowing the truth.
And you know what? You know what the
Not
thing.
always it's not always black and white.
And
Yeah, you got to be highly intelligent and figure this stuff out. I
and
mean, there's a lot to it. A
and the thing
lot
is,
to it.
is that this is not just like a one-time thing. This is like over and over and over again, so that it's just no doubt about it. Plus, you feel the energy confirmation too. But I mean, it's not like just a one-time thing. Well, that was weird. I wonder if that was a real crow. I mean, no, these are like damn 100%. You know, there's just no question about it. I mean, it's as obvious as the nose on your face for anybody who has the heart and the eyes to see it, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I want to go over that energy you speak of to the people listening. That they're probably going, "What energy?" Well, what Pork's talking about? You know, the forest people put off so much energy when they're anywhere close to you, you can feel it. I mean, your hair gets electrified, static. Your hair stands up on your neck, on your arms. You get all juiced up. I mean, you feel great, man. You can feel their good, positive energy, and it's so good to feel. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I mean, they could be standing right next to you, man, and you could hear them, smell them, everything, but you can't see them. But you know they're there because of the energy,
Yeah.
and that's the amazing thing about them. I mean, you could be walking right through the forest, they could be right there with you, 5 or 6 of them. You would never know it if you didn't know how to feel the energy and interpret it like you do, Pork.
Yeah. One time, my friend Randy Brisson and I, my First Nations friend, we were in a place, and we have a guy called Big Red too. This guy's maybe 15 feet tall. This guy's huge. We call him Big Red.
Wow.
Yeah, and we were in his area, and his whole family was around us. We could feel the energy, like it was just incredible, the energy, and we could also hear some certain things too. All of a sudden, this one individual walked right inside of my body, and it felt like a light switch turned on. It was literally like the sensation of a light switch turning on when he was inside of me, and I guess he was really looking me over close. But wow, you know, like they are capable of so much, and they know us inside and out. They know our heart, you know, and they know our intentions, and they'll know your intention 5 years before you even it even occurred. I mean, you know, like the time thing, right? Time doesn't exist for them. I've had stuff with my glyphs where I literally came to an understanding that was arranged between myself and them. And then I look back on the glyphs that I document to teach people and for my own information 5 years previous, and 100% sure they already knew I was going to have that understanding. It's because they intermingled the message with things I already know, and it was just like it's just there's no question. So time's a funny thing for them too. You know, they do not have the the linear understanding or constraints of time like we do.
No, I think the only time they care about it if it's nighttime or daytime. You know, as far as keeping track of hours and months, yeah, it's not important to them. Yeah, they could care less about time. You know, about like me now. You know, I'm retired. Yeah, I threw my alarm clock away. I don't care about time either. So I mean, yeah, I'm getting more and more like the forest people every day.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Greg, I have a question about this event that's going to happen. You said you're on the craft and it was going to be soon. Well, the Sasquatch definition of soon and ours may be different. Is it, you think it's going to be like 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, or what do you think?
Hey, Beans, hey, that's a good question, brother. I wish I could answer it for you. I mean, yeah, soon, that could be, yeah, 20 years might be soon for them, or it might be 2 months. I mean, but it's been, yeah, it's been 5 years, man. So, I mean, it's not real soon, so to speak. But yeah, I do believe it's gonna happen. I mean, it even talks about it in the Book of Revelation. You know, about the end of the world again. Um, yeah, I don't think the forest people would you know, joke about something so serious. But but the way things are going right now, I'd say I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be the one to put a time, a stamp date on it. But if I was a betting man, I'd say, I mean, how much longer can this kind of stuff go on? Again, I don't want to talk about all the world's problems. I'm not here for that. But you know, everybody knows what's going on. I don't got to tell nobody. I mean, this world has never been like this. Yeah, the people, the places, it's very toxic, man. Very toxic. It's a bad time to be here right now. But you know, again, Michael, I wish I could be more specific. Yeah, my son does. He thinks it's going to be soon.
Deb Matthews says that she heard that it's going to be 2022, so that's a year after this one. 2022.
Hey, well, you know something, that could be very true because, like I said, I'm pretty sure this happened in 2015, and that would be 7 years. And my son told me it would happen in 7 years. Um, we started seeing a lot of sevens at the time of this happened. I mean, everywhere we looked, there were sevens. I mean, the clock. You look at the clock, 7 o'clock. Yeah, you look up at the street sign. You're on 7th Street. You know, everything was sevens, man. And my son told me it's gonna happen in 7 years. So that lady is probably on to something. I mean, like I said, I'm not the only one. It's not like I'm the chosen one. They have told many people this. I'm just one of the few that go to, and that they can speak to me freely.
Oh.
And I even asked them if I could share this to save people, and they said no. It don't matter if you tell them or not, Greg. It's too late. You know, everything's set in stone. You know, there would be no going back. There would be no changing. You know, the plans are set in stone, and it's going to go down. And I will add something. I'm sure Michael Beans would like to hear this. They told me when it does happen, and I'll never forget this. And I don't want to scare people or nothing, but they told me this, that for 5 days and 5 nights, it would be blood red skies outside. Do not leave your dwelling. Close your drapery, close your windows. And they specifically told me, do not come out for 5 days until it's gone. And then you will know, where to proceed to. I got a big part in this. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna lead the people, man, but my son thinks I'm like Moses. He can hear Moses speak to me a lot. I mean, am I the one they chose to lead the people? I don't know. I wouldn't want that responsibility. But if the Lord comes to me and wants me to do it, by God, God willing, I will do it for him. And I just wanted to let you all know that 5 days and 5 nights of blood red skies, man, and that's when the purge is going on.
And
I mean, where would I get stuff like this at, man? I mean, they told me a lot of stuff I couldn't even dream about. I mean, and I was a nut and bolts kind of guy, so this is way over my head, and I haven't adapted good with it, and I absorbed it, and I'm ready for the next step in the mission.
it's actually
And
exciting. It's actually exciting. It's actually exciting, you know. It's
yeah, it is exciting. I mean, especially if you're people like us that ain't gonna have nothing to worry about.
so
I
so
mean, we could have a very bright future for the rest of our lives and for all of our family and their lives and their kids' families and their lives. I mean, so I would love to be a part of a purge, a new beginning, a cleansing. Yeah, whatever God has in store for us. Yeah, it says in the Bible, it would be done with fire and brimstone. I hope not, but if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. But the people that will be saved will not be harmed. We will have a safe passage to the promised land, just like back in the biblical days. It's going to be all over again.
so
And
Greg,
like you said before about loving and good-hearted people, again, you're a very wise man yourself, Brian, because a lot of people couldn't figure that out. But you have, my man, you have, and I'm very impressed. That's what he wants. Godly people. God made us in his eyes. Yeah, he made his only son, Jesus Christ, in his eyes, a human just like us, with arms, legs, a heart, a hair, internal organs, a soul. He was a human just like us. But the only difference, he was God's son. And he's the only human that had the power to die and then rise again 3 days later and walk out of that tomb they had him in. That's how powerful this God is. And anybody who goes against him, you're flirting with disaster. You'll never win. You better turn your life around and get away from evil things and get away from the devil, because there is a God, and he's here and he's real, and he will come again. It says it right there in the Bible. He shall return, and he'll
Greg,
be here when the purge happens. You can trust me on that. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt or take it serious. It's gonna happen.
I wanted to mention something. The Jesus Christ and the Sasquatch people have no problem working together, and I'll give you an example of that. I've got a lady who says that I've got natural healing abilities, so she's teaching me how to heal, right?
Right.
And so I actually, it was, I think the second time I did it. I won't go into exactly how I did it or whatever, but it's basically sending your heart intention and to your fingers and going over, whatever. But this lady said, "Can you work on my neck?" And so I started working on her neck, and And I said, RE, these are my clan members. I said, RE, Rajase, Forshna, Little Bud, can you help me? And then I also said, Jesus Christ. And when I said that, her neck, we literally heard it crack. I wasn't touching her. I wasn't a chiropractor thing. This is energy, healing energy that I was giving her. Her neck cracked and she started moving ahead with full mobility. So I know that Christ and the Sasquatch people are doing the same work.
Hey, that's incredible, man. That's incredible. Yeah, I see a lot of people get confused. Yeah, they're like, well, the Forest people are not God. They can't heal people. And yeah, I totally agree with them. I go, yeah, you're right. They're not God. But God can give a man power to do stuff. Did you think Moses could have parted the Red Sea to let the Jews escape exile? With just him and his staff? Of course not. Humans don't have that ability, but God gave him that ability to do that. Just like he could give the Forest people the ability to heal people. Yeah, you know, they can't go to the doctor. That they can't go get operated on. They can't go to the pharmacy and get medicine. Everything they got to do to heal is naturally herbs, remedies, roots, the way the way the elders used to do it. You know, way back when we didn't have all that we didn't have doctors and hospitals or nothing. People, you either healed yourself or you died. And the Forest people, they know well aware how to take care of themselves. But some things may be too much for them and they need God's help. And maybe they just do what we do. They pray for them, you know, in the name of Yahweh. Hey, Yahweh, give me power, man, to cure my son. You know, his legs all messed up. He can't walk. You know, and much the way you described, you know, rubbing his hands on his leg. You know, I got a great friend, man. It's on here now, I believe, Timothy Collins. Yeah, that's one of my heroes in this thing. I mean, he told me, he's the first one that ever told me about healing. He was in his cabin one night. I'll never forget the stories he tells me. And he said all he had in there was a Mr. Buddy heater, you know, putting off a little light, you know, that was it. And he said sometime through the night, you know, he felt somebody working on his arm. So he kind of opened up his eyes and peeked up there. And there was two Forest people, man, working on his arm. He said he had arm and shoulder problems. And they were doing their thing, man. And the next day, he felt great. So Timothy, if you're on here, dude, thanks for sharing me. And you're a man who has enhanced my journey by stories like this, stuff that I wouldn't even think of if it wasn't for people like you, my man. So thank you, Timothy, and keep in contact, man. I love your stories.
You know, you know, that's why, you know, you notice that a lot of these people who are connected in with a Sasquatch, with a heart connection, whatever, we are discovering gifts. Like, I mean, I never imagined that I could do that, like that healing thing. And so many people are discovering their gifts today because they're natural to us. But, you know, we've been dumbed down, or we've been, you know, the false stories of our head are betraying the real story of the heart, you know. And so we're starting to learn all those abilities again. And that's and that tells me that, you know, big things are coming. Big things are coming, big changes, you know. It's very optimistic. It's actually exciting. You know, I don't want to see people hurt. I don't want to see people suffer, but, you know, hey, we gotta become the people that we really are, man, you know. And we're not living that life right now.
Yeah, and I totally agree 100%. You got to be the people who we should be, you know, in the eyes of God, the way God wants us. Nothing else matters. Yeah, you know, if you don't make God happy, you're not making nothing happy. You're not even making yourself happy. I mean, yeah, people fair to understand. we're here to serve God, no more, no less. Everything we do should evolve around God, and rejoice of every day we wake up and we're alive and breathing air. Thank God for this. There's a lot of people that don't make it too long in life. I just lost a brother, man, a couple months ago. He was 64 years old, and he was ate up with cancer. And we had a weekend scheduled for him in 3 days, man. We were taking him to the forest for one night. He wanted to come with us one last night. He knew his days were limited, man. The doctor gave him 6 months to live. So me and my son, we come up with a plan. Hey, man, we're taking him through the forest, man. We're going to get on our hands and knees, and we're going to beg God for the forest people to help him and save him and rid his body from cancer. And that was our plan, man. We really felt it was going to work. We were so into this. I was going to save my brother's life, but we were going to go camping Monday night, and my poor brother died Friday, so we never got to go on that camping trip. So I think about that every day. If I could have made that work somehow, I mean, well, what do you guys think? Do you think the more people can heal stuff like that? I don't know.
Yes, I think they can.
Well, what do you think on that, Port?
I know a friend of mine who has a very, very bad heart. He's got an it's one of I don't know what the condition is, but it's where his heart beats in his blood. Blood goes into the heart. Anyway, it's a really difficult heart situation. And my wife and this fellow, they they were friends and they went camping and whatever together quite a bit at times. And this guy was in really, really serious shape that night. And they were sharing like a great big 12-man tent or something. And my wife suddenly hears this buzzing, vibrating sound coming. And I think might have been lights involved in it too. I'm not sure, but it was like a vibration energy sound. And she thought it was coming from behind her, but then she asked this fella, she said, Tom, do you know what's happening? Where's that sound coming from? And he says, it's coming from my chest. And they were working on his heart, operating on his heart. And the next day he got up and he felt like, it didn't last, but he felt very, very good for quite a period of time. And he didn't think he was going to make it through the night. So they definitely heal in many, many ways. And the funny thing is that while they were in the tent and all this was going on, they were at a camp out, and all the other campers, they got up the next morning and said, Sue, why were you and Tom walking around talking in the middle of the night? And they were kind of pissed off, a little annoyed because, they were keeping them up and walking around and talking. And they said, we weren't doing that. It was the Sasquatch people, I guess, doing that. And it's funny because I've actually had friends that I was going to go meet, and I thought they were up the hill and I heard them talking and it wasn't them, it was the Sasquatch. And then a half hour later, here come my friends come along. So, but yeah, they're healers for sure. Absolutely.
That's awesome. I totally agree, man.
Yeah.
And how's your friend doing now?
Well, I mean, he should have been dead maybe 5-6 years ago, man. I can't believe it. He's actually doing better today than he was, then. I mean, they're keeping him alive for a reason. He's, he writes a lot of books on them. He has work to do for them. He brings people in on a kind of like on the ground level with the evidence kind of thing and that. But it's still important work because a lot of those people, then they say, wait a minute, there's something more here, like myself. And then, and then they go on to have a relationship with them. So he's doing his work too, and he's important to them. So he's alive, and I don't think he should be. Yeah, I think they're keeping him alive.
That's awesome, dude. A good story, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hearing stuff like that, man. That's amazing.
Yeah. So let me think here. So of course, you know, I would say that when I host my campouts or whatever, the best thing for me is because I know my clan so well and what they do, and I know how they're going to interact with people. They'll give them something spiritual through an owl or a raven, or but they open people's hearts and their minds, and it's and I just kind of sit back and watch it and know what's going on. And that to me is the most gratifying thing I could ever imagine. Watching my beautiful family, my beautiful clan work with people and just introduce them to the possibilities of something that I know and opening their hearts and their minds. It's just like so gratifying. That's the whole thing for me. Way more about that than anything that I could experience personally, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. Same way with me. I mean, I get enjoyment watching people, you know, having the time of their life, you know, experience stuff they never seen before with me. You know, so yeah, I'm right there with you, Brian. It is. It's a very rewarding feeling, and you're letting people know the real forest people. You know, you're letting them see firsthand. I mean, I have them walking up, you know, to camp all the time. And I just want to warn you, man, my phone's getting really low on energy, dude. Speaking of energy.
Well, okay. Well, we'll I guess we'll go on until it dies, or
This was a great show, man. Thanks for coming on.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I ain't going yet. I just wanted to let you know, yeah, in case I got dies or something. I mean, I could always go in the house, but it's too noisy in there.
Well,
Hey, I'm glad y'all had me on here, man. I love coming on this show.
People need to
I
know,
mean,
man. People
you
need to
guys
know.
are great people, man, and you're so much like me. Yeah, I would really love to personally meet y'all, man, and you know, and go out together, man, and have tons of fun.
absolutely. So walk us through if you know how it works. So we their chosen people, what are 1.8 million are going to be saved, and there's going to be that blood sky for 5 days. So when we come out, are the other people going to be gone, or how does it progress? And then we go to that island off Alaska. How do things play out? Do you know any of the details?
Oh well, it's like this. You know, from what I gathered, all through the world, there's going to be 5 safe spots. You know, I think there's 2 here in America. You know, they're scattered around, and then we're going to be the spots to go after this 5 days of blood red skies, and then all the people from all the safe spots will all join up and trek to the promised land that's already been laid out and ready for the people, from my understanding. And even though I'm getting conflicting vibes on this, I've talked to other people that have had an insight on this too, and they said they're gonna take everybody to another planet until this happens. But the forest people told me about the island off Alaska was going to be the place. So I mean, either or. I mean, we will be saved, and we will be all together, and we will start our rebirth. You know, we will start the regrowth of the world. You know, the 1.8 million people, and yes, to answer your question, yeah, the other people will be gone. Unfortunately, yeah, if you do the math, I mean, how many billions of people are on the earth? I got bad news for them. A lot of them ain't gonna make it, man. Cut and dry. You know, like you said earlier, I feel sorry for them, but you know, they had a choice in this life. That they could have been godly people, and they chose not to be. I mean, I talk to a lot of people that don't even think they need God in their life. You know, they don't need God to have a good job. They don't need God to have a nice, good-looking wife. They don't need God to have nice children. They don't need God to have all these expensive toys. Yeah, people like that. I hate to tell you, Well, you're gonna need God that day, and you're not gonna have him. So I'd like to say some of the people, yes, you do need God. I mean, have you ever thought about how God might have blessed you, and then you're gonna say that about him, that you don't need him? Yeah, how despicable.
Yep. 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 So, are we just going to be like,
100 comments, 100 comments in the comments like that. Did you look at any of the comments there yet, Brian?
no, do you want to read some of the comments or some of the,
No, why don't you do it? Because you got a few minutes.
okay. Okay. Let me look at some comments then. I just got to turn my sound off though. Otherwise it's going to be weird.
So, Greg, I'm so glad you get a chance to talk. Well, people need to know this kind of stuff. Mostly they need to know about Sasquatch, but people need to know about all this stuff, about living, that Mother Earth is fed up and God's fed up, and, things are going to change. And I think it's going to change for the better. All those 8 billion people, they're going to come back. They'll just come back when they get their mind right.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably, yeah, they'll come back when God feels that they're ready to come back and live on Earth like godly people are supposed to. Good point you made there, brother Mike. Yeah, I mean, I hated it had to come down to this, but yeah, it's either this or just let it get worse and worse, and then what? Or yeah, we're gonna destroy our own Earth. We can't go to another planet. Yeah, so it's got to be done.
Well, Greg, um, listen, Greg, I've been on this planet. I've watched the planet cool down, and we're in the fourth, what they call the fourth root race now, and that was the first root race was in the land of Pan, and the second one was in the land of Mu, and the third one was in the land of Atlantis, and the fourth one is now, right? And each time the
Right.
planet got wiped out, and each time it came back better. So this is nothing new for the human race. We've been through this 4 times already, and this will be the 5th time for us.
Yeah, you're right. And like Brian said, it's very exciting, a time in our lives. Yeah, I mean, we might wake up one morning, man, and see the earth the way it's supposed to be. Nice, clean oceans, clean, drinkable rivers, nice, lush forest everywhere. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Well, I can't, for some reason, I can't even find the show. So I can't see any comments or it seems like it's recording. I can't see it on the group. So.
Listen, what you gotta go to is go to announcements. Go into announcements, which is a little tab. You hit the announcement tab, and it'll
Yeah.
pop up.
Okay, I'll try it. But I don't know why I can't see it playing in the regular group. But okay, I'll try that.
I don't know why
You
either.
guys have a convo while I'm checking into things.
Okay.
So what's up next there, Mr. Squatch Man? What are you gonna have some more group meetings and excursions, or what's up for you next?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have another camp out here probably coming up, probably September. Yeah, you get this extreme heat out of here, man. It's been miserable here in Indiana. It's 92 today and very humid. But yeah, I mean, yeah, people look forward, man. They love coming to my camp outs, man. They love my teachings. They love what they see. They know I'm a man of truth, and they don't get disappointed here. They come what they come for, and they see what they come for. I mean, and they go home happy, just like Brian said. It's all about making the people happy, man, and teaching the truths at the same time. It works hand in hand. And like tonight, as soon as I get off here, I'll be heading about an hour away I'm gonna go hang out with Tony Maples and his wife Carol up there. He's out camping, and and that's a very good brother of mine. Very like us, a good-hearted man. He has helped me in the past. I mean, he was not turning your back on. He will not turn his back on you if he calls you his friend, and that's what makes Tony special to me. I mean, even though we disagree on things from time to time, we usually don't. But we're good friends, and we don't let that bother our friendship. Yeah, it's just like sports. I mean, it's stupid to argue about stuff. I mean, I know people, they like his team, and these people like his team. They hate each other. I mean, come on, dude. We're talking about a ball game. I mean, you're gonna hate somebody because he don't like, like he pulls for Indiana and this guy pulls for Kentucky. I mean, hey, who cares, man? Yeah, I mean, come on. There's more important things in life than disliking people over stuff like that.
Absolutely. Well, Beans, I failed. I saw the thing playing, but I can't bring the comments up. I can only see 4, and they're just like,
You
we
got to
don't.
blow it up big. Once you blow it up big, then the comments come
Oh
up.
man, why didn't you do it? You're so
Listen,
good at it. You're so good at it.
this is your show. You're supposed to learn the basics of saying hello and making like nice to the, that's
Okay.
what you're supposed to do. You're not just here to look pretty like me. I'm here to look pretty.
Well, you are the world's handsomest man. I mean, that's a fact. Okay, I'm gonna try one more.
Yeah,
I am gonna
that's
try
what the
one more.
ladies say. He's a good-looking man, ain't he?
But you're still a poor imitation of the Squatch man. I mean, he's your hero. He's like the mega you.
Yeah, Greg is my hero because he's living their life.
Wait a minute, you said I was your hero.
He's living the life. Well, you're my hero too, because you both got this amazing connection to the Sasquatch people, and they love you, and you love them. That's my hero. The heroes that I have are the ones who love Sasquatch, and the Sasquatch love them. There's something fundamentally right about that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, dude. It's all about love, man. Love makes the world go around. And there's not enough love making the world go around right now, man.
Okay, I found it. So I'm gonna see if I can see some comments. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. That's a comment. I'm so sorry. Let's see. I don't see any questions. I just see a bunch of comments, which we appreciate. And Ginger Lockwood said, there's a tribe that has been using nothing but Amadeus, Amadeus healing for ages. They start training kids at the age of 6 to do healing. Amadeus means the love of God. Now, I'm not sure if she's talking about a tribe of humans or a tribe of hairy people.
Yeah, I think he's talking about like a tribe of people, man.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's a type of rock, amethyst. Yeah, I think it's like a healing stone, man.
No, she's saying, no, you're talking about an amethyst. She's talking about AMA, and then the second word is DEUS. I don't know what that is, but.
Oh, I don't know, but I know Ginger, man. Yeah, she's just like us, man. So yeah, she knows what she's talking about, man. Very down to earth, salt of the earth woman, man. She knows the forest people, and yeah, maybe she can be more specific if the forest people or tribe of people are doing this healing.
Yeah. Ginger, if you hear that, let us know in the comments. Patrick Giggy says the Earth is in full ascension mode. Well, I believe that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good insight, Patrick.
And somebody said sorry for. Oh, Deb Matthews said sorry for your loss, Greg, about your brother, and yeah, we're all sorry. You know, it's never easy to lose
Oh, thanks so much, Debbie, and y'all. I appreciate it, man.
but you know, I mean,
Yeah,
with
it's really hard, losing your parents, man. When you lose your brother, he's only 2 years older than you. Your big brother you grew up with, your best friend. Yeah, it's kind of rough, but yeah, the force people know that too, man, and they've been really good to me lately. They've been cheering me up every chance they get. They know.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, all about love, man. It's so cool.
When my mother died, the force people, I had just got off the phone with my father. Said mom died, and I went outside, and right by my car was a glyph, a glyph that represented love and caring, and it was pointing directly at where my forest people live. So
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, so
Hey,
they have compassion for us. They support us. They always do. They always come through.
that's awesome. Yeah, I think my phone's almost dead. I can't even see the picture on it anymore.
Anyway, I guess that's good for the comments or whatever. I don't see a lot of questions. I just see some really, really nice comments. Okay, Greg. Well, I'll tell you what.
Or just let's end the show because he's running out of battery.
Absolutely. Let's do that. But Greg, hey,
Anything to get you from not reading the comments, but I'm going to pester you next time.
we loved having you on. Next time, let's try to do it though. I mean, at the first part, I thought, man, this guy can talk, and then I realized you weren't hearing anything that we were saying. So we
I
got.
know. Yeah, that's why I didn't think he was asking any questions.
Yeah, I said,
I'm
man.
like, well, I better keep talking. They must be enjoying it.
Well, yeah, Beans
No,
and I were.
hopefully next time I have a computer or something with headphones like y'all got, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. Even with all the, like we didn't know you were hearing us and whatever, it was still an amazing show. And yeah, we really appreciate you being on, Greg. And you know what? Yeah, we are kindred spirits. We're very similar in our message and in our heart and in our knowing with the people or whatever. And I appreciate people like you. I love you, brother, and keep up your work. You know, keep up.
Hey, and I love you two guys too, man. And it's much better doing an interview, man, with like-minded people. And I feel, I can feel y'all. I can feel your energy. I'm very good at feeling people's energy, and y'all put off great energy. And I love coming on a show and talking to like-minded people with energy like mine, man. It's a win-win for everybody.
You got that right. Yep. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. And you know what? If you're ever out in British Columbia, come on out and visit my clan and visit me, man.
Hey, I will. I'm retired now. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be heading out to Montana again. I got a good friend out there, Joe Hauser. He owns the Montana Vortex,
Yep.
and I'm gonna go back out there and check out Glacier.
Oh, there he went out.
Well, he's going to go check out Glacier with, yeah, he's a friend of mine too, Joe Hauser. Anyway, yeah, that was a great show, Beans.
And you did good, yeah.
You know, it was funny because initially I was thinking, I think, boy, this guy, he didn't shut up.
I know what I thought. I agree with it with Pat Giggy. What was happening was the Sasquatch wanted him to talk. And when he got all of his stuff out, then we kind of picked it up again. So I think they were messing with the signal.
I don't think
because it was a good show. This guy was on a craft. I think Greg was on a craft, and then in 2015 he was on a craft, and they were told him all kind of stuff. And it was a Sasquatch craft. Remember, I've been telling you about that Sasquatch have their own craft.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Well, I mean,
that right there is historic. First time ever in the universe that it was announced that human beings can get taken onto a Sasquatch craft. That's going to change a lot of things because people have to think differently about Sasquatch.
Well, it's funny because the messages like that they want to get out there. It's funny when we bring that kind of stuff up on the show. Then we're connected in with other people. Like it seems like, like it's a natural progression to say the same kind of thing and just have confirmation in what we're talking about. And it's so important, like him being on, I'm getting that energy again. They just, relentless. Anyway, but it's so important to, with stuff like that, really deep, important stuff like that, to have confirmation from other people, and so that we can actually, get that word out there. I mean, this stuff is real. This stuff is like, we're not a bunch of crackpots. Well, I guess I am, but but this stuff is real, man.
Well, I tell you what, if 2022 is going to be the end of the days for the human race as we know it, we might as well have fun. I tell you what, we might as well have fun, not get wrapped up into the petty negativity, and just enjoy nature, enjoy life, enjoy love, and that's what we need to do for the next year, for sure.
We'll get out in the woods a couple more
We
times.
only got one more year of the life the way it is now. Because there's plenty, like your Sasquatch and nature and, squirrels and birds and everything, so we might as well enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to say to the fans of the show, we've got another amazing show in the works with Sky Peterson. That's going to blow everybody's mind. We've had some discussions with her late. It's going to be amazing. Squatch Man, Greg Yost, amazing. And we got another fella coming up. So the show's back rolling again, and that's good.
Yeah, you got Carter Bouchard. That guy is the real deal. I mean, he's totally on the ball. He was a Sasquatch, BFRO guy for like 10 years or something, and he's got hundreds and hundreds of stories, and lots of stories about woo and spiritual stuff too. Yeah,
sometimes my girlfriend. I've had her as my girlfriend for so long that sometimes I forget my new wife. Has reminded me when I made that little post on the Pork and Beans show today about start getting some events with unvaccinated people or whatever, and just but she kind of gets on me and whatever and says, well, I'm not really judging. I was kind of do it tongue in cheek. But the thing is that we should be excited. We should be happy. We should just try to stay in that high vibration of no judgment or whatever, because things are going to play out as they're going to play out. And so we're just kind of along for what's ever going to happen. And our job is to keep our vibrations up and speak the word, and maybe,
live, love, and laugh. What's that?
Live, love, and laugh,
movie? Live, love, and laugh. That's what that wasn't it a movie?
Yeah. So, sometimes we fall back into that, getting a little indignant and all that stuff, but really it's playing out as it's supposed to. So I guess that's a reason for celebration. Like I've always said, it's going to get really, really dark before it gets light. And that seems to be what's going on.
Don't even worry about it, because if the people die, let's say billion people die. Well, where do you go when you die? When you die, you go to this heaven place where all it is love and peace and forgiveness and joy. They're not gonna have a hard time. You know what I mean? There's no downside to any of it.
Well, Greg said when they're ready, they can come back. See, we're already ready. And I'm not elevating us over anybody, but our understanding and how things are supposed to be, we're already kind of being prepped for that, and that is who we are. And I do believe that these other people will eventually be reincarnated when they're ready to be part of this new earth.
Well, they may not, or they may not. Who knows? Because heaven's not a bad place to be. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that reminds me of a song. You want to leave us with? Should we leave the guys with a song?
It's like that. It's like that Sasquatch joke about the two Sasquatch. Had this guy who was a farmer. And he used to shoot at him and everything, and call them monsters and demons. And one Sasquatch says to the other, when this guy dies, let's beat him to heaven. And so the first thing he sees is us. I think that's hilarious.
I've heard that before. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. Beans, you're everything I need.
Hey.
You are so beautiful.
I love all the comments. 100 comments, and I actually got it out to like 40 different groups, and maybe we'll get some good numbers on this one.
Well, yeah, except until I started singing. No, I just lost everybody with that. But you know, when
Yeah.
we get a good thing going, I always manage to blow it somehow.
Listen, when you go to edit this thing, put in that little advertisement thing. You can put it in twice, once in the beginning and once in the middle, or put it in at the end.
Yeah.
Because the Pork and Beans group is a good group, and the Pork and Beans show, British Columbia, true. What is the name of it? British Columbia.
The Pork and Bean show, Pork and Bean, or is it the? I think it's Pork and Bean Show plus Sasquatch BC, the true story.
Yeah.
Some guy asked me on YouTube. He said, "Why does everybody say it's the true story? Why don't you believe me? Or why don't they believe you? Or whatever? Wouldn't they believe you?" And I said, "Well, it's the true story because the story is about heart connection. That's the story. I'm saying that's the truth. That's why it's the true story.
Well,
It's not about proving, you know,
we're the deplorables, Brian. We're the deplorables, and it's like this to the world out there, right? The people who believe in the Sasquatch are kind of crazy nut jobs, deplorables. But inside the community of Sasquatch community, of researchers community, the people who are having family relations and heartfelt relationships with Sasquatch people, we are the deplorables of the deplorables. So that's why people don't believe it. No, orbs aren't real. Mind speak is not real. Invisibility, cloaking is not real. Love zap is not real. That's all they do is talk about what's not real.
right. Absolutely.
It's all real. It's all real. Not only is it real, that's where the good stuff is.
Yeah. Well, let's end with a real song because I was embarrassed by that last performance. What are we going to sing?
I don't know. I don't know any songs. You start and I'll see it, and I'll carry it, and I'll do the chorus. As long as it's not Frank Sinatra. Nobody can sing Frank Sinatra.
Nobody can?
No, just him.
You get too hungry for dinner at 8. You don't go to theaters and you never come late. And you never bother with people you'd hate. That's why Mr. Beaner is a tramp. He likes the free, fresh wind in her hair,
out there.
life without care.
Love all the people who show up and to get the word out. We're still live and kicking. We got over 100 shows and some of the best shows ever. No. We got grown men crying. How many other Sasquatch shows have grown men crying?
Damn it! I'm gonna finally be firm and take some authoritative and be proud of myself. This is the best Sasquatch show ever.
It's the best ever.
Not one of the best. This is the best show
ever.
No, it is. Damn it! It is. I'm not even laughing. I'm not even joking, because everything goes, especially truth and heart. So
nobody does orbs like
nobody does it better. Nobody does it better than we do. Yeah. Anyway, see you guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for being pork and bean enthusiasts. And hey, we're gonna have people come on and do actually, like, remember the fun stuff we used to do? We're gonna have a show where
make like a tree.
We got to have people come on and actually sample like different types of pork and beans and rate them and stuff, and
oh yeah,
have the ultimate pork and beans.
Half of our friends are vegetarians, though. I'm going to make it like a tree and leave. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming. On behalf of there he is. He's gone. On behalf of Pork Cunningham and Frank Oliver Beans, this has been the Pork and Beans Show. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you next time. We're looking forward to some more amazing shows and hanging out with all you wonderful people and the wonderful guests. So thanks a lot, and we will see you next time.
message for you. I could not help but listen. Children of earth must all become one family. Your leaders will not listen. But what could I do? People will listen to you. I'm just a poor fool. Please try to help us and make them understand. A place for everyone in the sacred land, living in all lands. I'll never turn away. Now my life has changed. I'll never be the same. This is the sector calling. Are you talking to me? We have a message for you. I could not help but listen. Children of earth must all become one family. Your leaders will not listen. But what can I do? People will listen to you. I'm just a poor fool. You try to help us and make them understand. This is basic decoding. Are you talking to me? We have a message for you. Oh, what can it be? Children of earth must all become one family. Your leaders will not listen. But what can I do? People will listen to you. I'm just a poor fool. You try to help us and make them understand.
One time, right in the middle of a job interview, I took out a book and I started reading. The guy said, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "Let me ask you one question. If you were in a vehicle and you were traveling at the speed of light, and then you turned your lights on, would they do anything?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "Forget it then, I don't want to work for you."